Hello, hello. I hope everybody can hear me. Let me check my computer over here and make sure that I have sound. All right. Hello, hello. It works. Everybody can hear me. Let me check my. All right. So, how's everybody doing today? And how is your weekend starting off? My weekend is a bit on the busy side. Let me go ahead and put this up here. I don't know if anyone has seen the short video I posted this morning. I was over at the neighborhood yard sale, and I was looking around. I didn't see anything that caught my eye, at least initially. There's a couple of places where they have old phones, but that lady always brings stuff like that, and she always wants way too much money. So after, I'm going to make the live stream a little bit shorter than usual today, and I'll go and hit the yard sale. They usually start leaving there after 1 or 2, and the two best times to hit a yard sale is when they first set it up, and then after the stuff's been sitting there all day, then you get good deals. So that's what I try to do. So anyway, I hope everyone's doing good. You can hear me, and let me go and hit these comments before they get away from me, because they often do. And it's been a very interesting week. Let me see if I can move it over here. All right. Why? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. What am I doing? Okay. I seem to have misplaced my display. Oh, there it is. All right. I have located it, and oops, and I've maximized it. Well, when I build my new computer, which hopefully will be soon, I will have everything set up. I'm going to try to set up a multi-monitor setup like you see on some of the other YouTube channels. I have my big TV in the front. I'm going to try to go with a portable table, which will have 2 or 3 monitors on it. And then I also will be using a local sound monitor so that if I need to put on headphones, I can do that. I'll build the headphone jacks into the desk. I'm also going to make a macro pad. I have, what is it? I was thinking of Arduino, but I do have a Raspberry Pi, so I may decide to use either one. I want to make a macro pad that has buttons that you can push for different scenes, and will have a light inside of each button, just like the old TV stations used to have, where you can light up. It'll tell you what's on. It'll tell me when the audio is up. Plus, I'll put a couple of those little VU meters in there that will move. I do have the little LED graph on my mixer, but if I can put everything in front of me, I think that would make the whole system a whole lot better. All right, so we had our first comment, as you can see here, from Jamet, 48. Rick, Milton, and Quack, see you in the morning. And the next one was Lady June, also good morning. And we have Brian Dish. Of course, YouTube changes the names around. Good morning, Sir Quack, and everyone. I'll be out in the woods. Well, I hope you catch something delicious. And we have Mike Seeley. There we go. Again, YouTube kind of switched the names around, but I know who you are. I recognize the picture. And that must be the sun, or greetings from Tampa Bay. I see a lion there. So, and Ricky Lee is here. It's duck feeding season, Quack. Yes, it is duck feeding season. In fact, I was feeding them yesterday in my front yard, and oh, they're getting nice and plump. When I went over to the yard sale, I saw the canal had a really nice group of tasty, tender little ducklings. So it's only a matter of time. The so-called winter is coming, and this is usually the time when iguanas go kind of dormant. They're easy to catch. And the ducks, well, they fatten up themselves really nicely. And usually around November, which is beginning this month, I have my delicious duck fry or duck roast. Now, I haven't had a duck in a very long time. In fact, I've only had one duck this entire year. So my duck population disappeared. I've had too many distractions. I haven't been able to eat any ducks. But what can you do? I do the best I can. Anyway, all right. Good morning, Rick, and everyone from Melbourne, Florida. Well, good morning from Miami, Florida. And Kitchen Witch 1885 is also here. Took the day off for this. Well, you don't have to take your day off for me. I may be doing something a little different today. What I may do is end this live stream early and then grab my mobile device. I do get Wi-Fi from my house at the yard sale. The problem is I can't seem to transition smoothly from this to the other live stream. So what I may do, I do have my portable device. And what I might do is put this in my pocket like I always do. I don't know if you can see it, but let me get up here. And then I will go ahead and, let's see, okay. And then I'll just walk around. And a lot of times you'll see the video sideways, but when you do this, nobody knows that you're taking a video. So I might do that just to get a look around the yard sale. I could pop back onto this live stream if I wanted to, and next week they have a yard sale at the university, which is known as the Ham Yard Sale, which is the amateur radio club. There people go there and they have what they call a free flea or flamingo net free flea market. That's where the good stuff can be. I can find all kinds of electronic goodies. As you know, I'm the engineering electronic type. So that's the kind of stuff I like. This yard sale is a lot of household stuff, which I don't really need. I got too much crap already. But once in a while, you'll find things like tools. Although a lot of these people today, they've been eBayed and they think the stuff is worth a fortune, which it isn't. But usually towards the end of the sale, people will get frustrated. They want to get rid of it. And that's my opportunity to grab a few things. And again, do I really need more crap? No, I do not. Okay, let's see what else we have here. I'm eating eggs. Well, I had 4 eggs this morning. That's great. Josephine, hey. Howdy, beautiful quackers. Well, hello. And Thomas is also here. Hello. You've been doing a lot of lives, Thomas. It's hard to keep up. Good morning from chilly Florida. Well, up there it might be chilly. Here, it's absolutely perfect. It's a little warm because I did a very brisk bike ride and I came home, started sweating. But I have my air conditioner on right now. It's set to 69 degrees. So that way I can keep myself nice and cool. But it was 65 degrees when I went to the flea market. And I was riding at max power on the way back. And I was not getting tired at all and really not sweating. It wasn't until I got in the house then I started to sweat. But I'm better now. And there we go. Super Tune. Good morning, Rick, and all you quackers. Well, good morning. Glad you are here from Clearwater, Florida. And Lambs is also here. Good morning, quackers. And I say good morning. It's Movie 420. Good morning, Rick and Milton and the Quack Pack. Well, Milton, he left. He was here. He was behind the computer. But as usual, as soon as I go live, Milton disappears. Now, I do have an old sign from the radio station that was down the street that got torn down in 1987 or whatever year it was. It's one of those, it's like a metal with a little glass that says on air. When I do my new set, I'll probably stick it in the background, and I'll have that come on at certain times. So that'll be pretty good. And we have some truth right here. If you go to channel on socializing, Doc Rich is the man. Well, I'm glad that you like my channel. And let's see. Yes, we have a happy face from a couch potato. Excellent. I am the couch potato. Actually, I might be a couch plantain right now because we don't do potatoes in this house. In November already, where does the time go? Yes, and in 2 weeks, on this day, if all goes well, I will not be here at the Quack Zone. I will be in Tampa, probably with everybody running away from me because when they see that Rick has turned Hack Your Health into Quack Your Health, they will run for the canal. But we'll see. And I see that somebody likes my audio, and I'll tell you, it's the best $10 I ever spent at the Micro Center. That thing is so handy. In fact, I'll show you what it is. But sound okay? Excellent. And Josephine, yes, howdy, Quackman. Sounding good, Rick. Well, I'm glad that I am sounding good. And thanks to the weather improving, less rain, the amount of mold in my house is decreasing. That low humidity really does the trick. So the sinus issue, it's not as bad. And again, I went for a brisk bike ride this morning, and I'll be doing a lot more riding. Plus, I've been giving myself a workout. I was cleaning my garage. I have some electric motors that weigh 150 pounds, and I'm picking those things up. And it was really, then I had that engine that tipped over. The engine out of my Bobcat A63, it tipped over. I had to pick that thing up. I did strain my foot a little bit climbing up and down the junk pile, so my foot does hurt a little, but it'll heal up. It usually does. I get one of those injuries. It's gone in a couple of days. And then on top of that, my stupid razor broke, the electric trimmer, which is a Remington from the 1960s. And now the facial hair is growing in. I've had a lot of people say, Rick, why don't you grow a beard? Well, I don't like them. But you can see that it, in one day, it's already coming in, and it's kind of distressing because the stuff grows really, really fast. And it is mostly dark. There's only a few little gray hairs in there. But what can you say, right? Anyway, and we have a comment that this pic of the Mitch Steakhouse makes me hungry for steak. Yes, and that place hasn't been around since the 70s. I do remember where it was. It was in the North Miami area, but the shopping center has been remodeled, and that stupid guy, I forget, that owns the basketball team, he has this ridiculous company called RK Centers. They buy all those old shopping centers, they make them all look the same, and jack up the rent. So that place is long gone. But maybe one day when I move, if I move to a small town, maybe I'll get some influence and I'll change things. We need to get one of these small towns and make them into like an old-fashioned 1950s town. I think that would be a big hit. You find some dirt water town that's basically agriculture, hopefully a beef town, and then try to get all the people that raise different crops. Now, I wish there was a place like that in Florida. I don't think there is. I mean, I do own a lot in Hendry County, but South Florida is basically turning into one big development disaster. But it'd be nice if there was a place like that. You'd have your palm trees and your banana plants and your avocados and your mangoes that all the people love to come and eat. And then at the same time, you would have the dairy and the cattle industry that we used to have. And you have all those 1950s and earlier, because it's not just the 50s that I like. I also like the older, like 1800s, early 1900s, the neoclassical, then the Art Deco, then the modern, all that. I just don't like the black, white, and gray modern. I consider that to be crap. It's basically like a 1970s Rolls-Royce versus one today. The ones today are black, white, and gray crap. Everything's plastic. But back then they look better. So that's just the way that I think of it. And I say the sound is great. I guess my sound is doing quite well. And we have from Jiffy, good morning, Rick, Milton, and all. Well, good morning. And again, Rick, Milton has disappeared. Rick, I think, is here. I think I'm Rick. I don't know. Plenty of hair. Yep. 57-year-old and lean. That sounds like Rick. Okay, and look, John Beatty is here. Good morning, Rick and Quackers. Good morning. I'm still enjoying, by the way, those steaks were awesome, and still enjoying the bacon and eggs. So that's really nice. Glad that you're here. And good morning, Rick and the Duck Man. That is Peter. Yes, Peter. I don't know if you're having another date this weekend, but if you do, I hope it's going to be a successful one. Don't go on a Rick date, because that's where the women don't show up. They see your old truck or car, and they sneak out. And then that way, of course, the date's usually by the canal, and you've got a knife in one hand and a duck in the other. So that would that'd scare anybody away, unless you were Jeffrey Dahmer. And hey, Cyber Genius has returned. Howdy, and glad to have you here. Hello, guys. I hope someone didn't cheat today with the candies. Well, in my neighborhood, I saw the kids walk down the street, but like they always do, they go around my house. They never walk by the front. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Yep, that's what this is. So nobody ever dares to come to the door, and there is no candy. Now, the only candy I have actually belonged to a friend of mine, and they're cannabis candies. And he left them here, and I have no idea when he's going to pick them up, but they're in my refrigerator. So that's about the only candy you'll find around here, and I don't recommend anyone trying to eat them. Sound is excellent, very professional. Thank you, Peter. That $9 USB part seems to have changed everything for the better. And guess what? When I build the new computer that one of my excellent viewers has donated for, it's going to be even better. The scene changes and the video editing is going to be a lot more impressive. Now, I'm not trying to say that I'm some special talented person. And I do tend to downplay my abilities. But when I look at a lot of the other YouTubers, and I look at myself, I'm a little bit bored with the flashy silliness that they put in there. I mean, they have the AI graphics, they have the streaming text and all that. Yeah, great. But I find that distracting. I'm going for a more mid-century look, where sort of like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood idea. Remember how that show used to be? So I tell everyone, this would be Mr. Rogers if he was a carnivore. Now, if you look at Mr. Rogers when he was in his late 50s like me, he wasn't as active and he wasn't as strong as me, obviously. I don't think Mr. Rogers would be picking up a transmission or engine. So Mr. Rodriguez, which is the carnivore version of Mr. Rogers, is a dynamic personality that really knows a lot of different things and is good at interacting with most people. Now, sadly, there are some people out there that find me irritating. And I notice on some of the other live streams, oh, I'm so glad you don't have the quack anymore or whatever. But most people, they like this. So stay tuned, and you're going to get probably, definitely by next year, you're going to get something even better. I don't mind changing things as long as they change for the better. Now, some things will not change. For example, the background will remain the same. Even when I move to my new home, whenever that is, this background you see here with the encyclopedias, I may change the couch and the pillows and all that, but I may go with ceiling tiles in the back, maybe some lights, but the encyclopedias and duck ends will stay there. The room will be bigger. I'm going to have a better camera. That's what I like to do. I want to have multiple views. So we'll have the face camera, maybe a side camera, and maybe an out in the room view. And it'll start off more like Mr. Rogers. You'll have the traffic light. You'll have it going around the room. Somewhere, think about 2 shows from PBS. Think about Masterpiece Theater meets Mr. Rogers. And that's what we'll be having right here. But thank you for the compliment. I cheated with 5 grapes. Well, grapes are not the greatest fruit, but hey, did you feel anything after? That's a good question. Little sugar rush, that's all. Well, that's not too bad. You look like a young and very healthy person, so you'll probably be fine. Oh, was watching your yard sale video. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you did. Good morning from Chicago. Well, good morning, Larry Ryan. I am so glad that you are here. Not at all. Doing just fine. Well, see, that's it. Healthy, young, active people can eat fruit, and they can even eat duck food, and they'll be fine. But once your body becomes old and diseased and damaged, things are a little different, which is fine. My heat is set to 69 degrees. Well, there you go. See, we have the same temperature, except my air conditioner is set to 69 degrees, and it's doing beautifully. I would normally open the windows, but it is so difficult to get those windows open with all the junk that I got to deal with until I get rid of that crap, that I just keep them closed until we get our 3rd or 4th cold front. Then I will open them. Then I will turn the air conditioner off in the living room, and I'm hoping when I get some decent cold weather, I'm going to take that motor out of that air conditioner, and I'm going to replace it with the new one to get rid of that sound that I have to listen to all the time. Other than that, the air conditioner works perfectly fine. But what can I say? It was free. A friend of mine gave it to me because it was making noise. Good morning, Rick and everyone. Well, good morning, Carnivore Whisperer. Glad that you are here. Fair-eyed fruits, I don't feel the same. Got a little irritation on tongue. Well, see, that's the thing. If you're not used to eating fruit, it could be an issue. So you need to use your discretion when you're doing that. And we have some hellos from Lisa and Sandy. No shave November. Let's go. Well, there you go. Well, I'm going to get rid of this as soon as I can fix my old razor, or I might just buy a cheap one. And I'm going to have to take one with me anyway when I go on my trip. Hello, everyone. I was watching True Crime. Well, Aaron, I see you've done a lot of lives as well. I simply can't keep up with the lives. Plus, I took on a major project. I got the spare junk engine out of my garage. I had to move it about 15 feet. That doesn't seem like a big deal, except every one of those 15 feet is full of stuff. So I got about a small pile of stuff still sitting outside I have to go through, and I want to get that done. So this is not going to be an all-day live stream. Again, what I'm thinking about doing is making this into a test. I'm going to do a live stream here for a couple of hours. Then I'm going to take my mobile device, and I'm going to try to do a mobile live stream where I'm going to go to the yard sale. So this may be a little bit different. I know everybody, well, a lot of people like change. Some people like consistency. I like consistency and change, as long as it's change for the better. Now, if I go outside and I see somebody bulldozing a cow pasture, and I come back 2 years later and it's a bunch of houses or a shopping center, that's a downgrade. But on the other hand, if there was abandoned or empty mall and somebody turned that into a farmer's market or even a farm, well, I'd be happy about that, even if it was turned into a barn. You know, I always thought instead of demolishing all these crappy malls, why not just turn them into big barns? And you can have all your cows and chickens or whatever. But of course, it's all about this. They want to turn that land into apartment buildings. They want everybody crammed in an apartment so they can treat you like the cattle. So instead of having actual 4-legged cattle, they want to have 2-legged cattle, long pigs, and have them living in these stacked and packed apartments. And that way, instead of having to slaughter them, feed them and slaughter them, you can simply just let them feed themselves, load them up with debt, and then extract from that debt through taxes and through interest and all the other things that these crooks want to do. So, but again, I like an upgrade. So if I had a dumpy house and I rebuilt it and it was much nicer, that would be a good thing. All right, so we have more hellos. Is it possible to break tooth with eggshell? No, impossible. The only time I've broken a chip off of my tooth was when I bit into buckshot and when I got into a fight as a kid and got the tooth broken. But I chew ice and I chew shells and nothing. Even seeds. The few times that I've eaten fruit that I've chomped on a hard seed, they didn't break my teeth. Healthy teeth don't break easy. They're very strong. Oh, so we're talking about Erin and her live stream. That's great. Being 50-year-old, what's your feeling about it? Well, I'm 57, and I enjoy it. I think that being in your 50s is better than being in your 20s if you're healthy. Because when you're in your 50s, you have 30 years of experience behind you. And you've learned a lot of things. When I was 20, for example, I wouldn't take on the things that I take on now. And dealing with people, you get to be a whole lot more intuitive. You don't get offended that easy. If I was 20 and people insulted me like the way they do now, I would have blown up. But at 57, almost 60, I don't care anymore. I've seen too many people drive themselves to illness or into the grave. And I've learned a long time ago, those little things, they don't help you. You're better off ignoring everything except what immediately threatens you. And that's it. I do try to warn people, like, for example, when they started to build in the trailer park down the street, I had a couple of friends that they had relatives that lived there. When I saw them bulldoze the old park and build an apartment building, I told them, get out now. Get out now because the developers they're going to kick all of you out. Well, no, they said they won't. I said, their promises are worthless. Let me look at your contract. I looked at the contract. You better get out now. And the funny thing was, the one person sold the place. Some idiot paid over $100,000 for a crappy trailer. They put it on the market, and they were fighting over it. Well, guess what happened 2 years later? They're all thrown out. There's a few of them still living there. I'll make a video on that maybe this weekend to show you what happened to the place. And the other one, around this time last year, they were packing up. They were all ready to go. And I think they got $15,000 from the developer, and they took off even before they announced it. So the smart person looks ahead and finds a way out. Just like I'm looking at Miami, and I realize that Miami is going to be the Detroit of the South. I don't want to be here. I want to be out of here. Like if you lived in Detroit, now Detroit's getting developed now, but for years it was a wasteland. But if you lived in the country, you don't have to worry. If you live in a rural area, you're definitely more insulated from economic disaster. As long as you don't go in debt. If you go into debt, forget it. All right, let's see. It was very warm. I only had 20 trick-or-treaters. Oh, well, okay. I'm not sure where you were, but it's always warm here. And we're talking about all the Halloween people here. That's good. I took my kids to an old folks' home. Okay. People couldn't remember if they gave them candy or not. Well, I guess that's one thing about these old people. If they have candy, their mind's probably gone. Thanks. Good morning, son. But there are some old people that are sharp as a tack. I've known a few of them, and there's at least a couple here on YouTube. Good morning, Sandy. All right. Aaron, there we go. Yeah, I absolutely hate the AI thumbnails where they take a picture of themselves and AI fix them. I will never do that on my channel. Anything that, if I do any AI, it's going to be for little, like, just little shorts, something, or to make fun of somebody. I may do AI of vegans or the people that make fun of the carnivore. Now, because I'm a quack, no one has actually made a video making fun of me like they do with the prominent carnivores, like Dr. Chafee and Dr. Baker and maybe some of the others. They make fun of them. They don't do that with me because I'm a nobody, but if they ever do, I'll do the same thing to them. And Ricky Lee says, good morning. And yes, I see you have a hand and a ghost. There you go. If you like it, great. If you don't, pound salt, that's my thoughts. I say the same thing. Michael, I say the same thing. And we have some hellos over here and hellos. Now, we don't have as many. Well, actually, we have 44 people today. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's actually surprising. I didn't think we'd have that many at 8:30. Okay, that is amazing. I don't know why. I guess people are promoting my chat or something. Okay, we have hello, Lisa. We have lots of hellos. That's good. Mine is set to 65. I'm cheap. Well, in Florida, they'd be expensive because it's hot. But up north, yes, that makes sense. I don't use heat in this house. I don't think I've ever had to use it in the last 20 years, 25 years maybe. But I did test it last year when I fixed the air conditioner in my room. This air conditioner has no heat, but if I did need it, I can go into my bedroom, and it is a reversible air conditioner. And again, I love all the hellos. I love the fact, oh, you saw the unicycle and yard sale. Well, that's great. I'll do more from the yard sale, and I'm going to see if a live will work. So we'll try that. And let's see. So many lives today. I hope there's not. Oh, Amy's on at 11 a.m. All right. Well, if Amy is on at 11 a.m., I'll definitely not be there at that time. I will wrap this up by 10. Okay? And what I'll do, I'm going to try to wrap this up by 10, and then I'm going to switch over to the mobile device, and we're going to test it out. My Wi-Fi does reach. I have 2 bars on the Wi-Fi. I have a long-range antenna. The mast is about 35 feet high, and it goes over. There's not that many trees in the neighborhood. I tested it this morning. It's just for some reason I can't do a continuous live stream. I think the mobile device, when it loses the live stream, it starts trying to connect to everybody else's Wi-Fi, which I don't have the password to, and it cuts me off. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just shut down the live stream and go live from the phone. I can't wait. I love it when people shop and go, well, I'm glad you're liking it. Now, I may not be able to see all the comments, so if I don't answer your comments, just watch, and that's it. No Shave November, I'm in. Well, Thomas, we know you've done that many, many times, especially me to a yard sale, yes. Now, a lot of people here don't speak English, so if you don't speak Spanish, you may not be able. No entiende, por favor. It's like not fun. Tanya, yes, a lot of lives. There you go. How is everyone? And Peter, I'm doing good. I hope you're doing well. And I think everybody else is doing quite well, all 44 of us. And that's excellent. Really good for a small guy. I've seen people with 10,000 subscribers that don't get that many people on the live. So let's save those razors. Well, there you go. Cyber Genius, maybe if the egg is from a cargo. Hey, Tom's here. How's it going? Yesterday I did my valve cover gasket, rebuilt my distributor and the exhaust manifold gasket, changed the oil, and rotated tires on my old 97 Honda. Oh, and a new air filter too. Well, Tom, I got the 7.3 scrap engine out of the garage. The problem is, with my luck, which is always bad, I found the torque converter. I've even found the flex plate, but I did not find the flywheel. I'm wondering if when they gave me the engine, it didn't have a flywheel. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm completely out of it. I still have more of the garage to go through, so it may be in the other portion. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that this afternoon after the live stream, after I hit the yard sale, and that's it. Now, on the other hand, I do have the current engine. Hey, and we have a guest. Oh, Milton, come here. Come on. What a cute cat. Peter, good morning. Hey, Milton. What? What? Come on. Come on, pussycat. Come on. Come on, look at those big eyes. Look at those big eyes. Come on, Milton. Oh, he always does that. Every time I try to grab him, he runs away. Milton, you are not a duck. I'm not going to cook you for dinner, all right? I'll just have to let him do his own thing. He'll come here eventually. He is a pest. All right. I've always lived in the country. Well, that's smart. If you live in the country, you have a big advantage. We're getting riddles with giant wind turbines. Nothing is safe anymore. Yes, that is true. And Peter says, Rick's voice is so trying and calm. So refreshing, isn't it? Makes me feel so good. Well, thank you, Peter. I am glad that you like my voice. I've had a lot of comments about it over the years. When I used to do networking and we installed phone systems, I was requested more than anyone to do the IVR menus for the phone systems. There was a commercial service that used to do that, and I charged less than half of what they charge. So there were a lot of businesses that had my voice. And when people would call me for tech support, I recognize you. Are you the voice in the voice menu? Yes, I am. I'm Rick. I am Rick, co-owner of the company. Yes, and you are talking to me. And they were always kind of impressed by that. They were surprised, though, if I went to the location. They saw how tall I was. They're like, I didn't know you were that tall. I've even had people tell me, you don't sound like a tall person. Well, what's a tall person supposed to sound like? Well, like Anthony Robbins with that sort of gravelly voice. But I don't have that because I never had a pituitary tumor. I never had a growth hormone issue. I think the only reason I grew as tall as I did was because, what, Milton? Of the carnivore diet. Milton, what are you making noise for? You have food. Come here. Come on. You want to get food? You got to come and sit with me. That's how I'm going to get you here. Orlando, and the heat is on. Oh, well, it's hotter here than Orlando. What do you guys experience about cheese? I like cheese, although I haven't had it for 3 days because I didn't have the time to go to Aldi and get some more. So I've had just yogurt, no cheese. I've been told that cheese is addictive, but in my experience, it is not addictive. I didn't have any trick-or-treaters and had bacon and meatballs ready for them. Excellent. And we have another compliment from our friend Peter. Rick's voice is so soothing and calm, rather. Well, I see you clarifying your comment. That's excellent. I lived in NYC in my 20s and LA. Now I can't imagine. And I've said this before. Big cities are best for young people and for old people. If you're a young person, you're just starting out, especially if you live in a smaller city, maybe a suburb, you might want to check out the city to see if it's for you. But most people, when they have kids, they have a family, nobody wants to live in a city. Cities are ugly, they're crowded, not a great place to live. But when you live by yourself, if you can find a decent city where people are halfway friendly, it's actually a very good thing. And one of the biggest problems we have in the cities is the black, white, and gray crap, which is basically a box, a stripped-down box. If we made the cities a little bit more formal, maybe some better architecture, maybe some more green space, there are ways of making cities better, less dense. You want to reduce the density, more convenient public transit options, bicycle paths, trains, and there's got to be many ways of doing it. And if you live in a city where the groundwater is not 8 feet from the ground, you could also have subways. So I'm not saying that cities are bad, but cities need to have less, they need to be more for commerce and less for living. In today's world, with video conferencing, with our technology, it is not necessary to have so many people in a city. It's not even necessary to have large corporate headquarters. Most people can work more effectively from home than they can from an office, where you have a lot of office politics, and the people that run the office think they can micromanage by going around. I've found that the more people try to help me when I'm working, the less work I get done. It's interesting that way. And Jemet agrees with Peter because Peter is telling the truth. Been here just trying to get woke up. Well, man, you'll wake up here, no problem. Just don't let my voice put you to sleep. The all-week murder trial has me worn out. Well, they get you as a witness. That's not fun. And Denise Kink, good morning. And I say good morning from Rick in Miami. Or is anyone Amy East Coast time? Peter, well, Peter is because here in Florida. You'll be able to repair your 1960s Remington electric shaver as a toast. If so, where would you go to find? I will be able to replace it because I know what's wrong with it. The contacts inside of it, they wear out. So I get some silver solder and a torch, and I make new contacts for it and file it down, polish them up. It'll be good for another 10 years. So that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Plus, I have a lot of the screens and the little head. I got at least 4 of them. And yes, I've gotten them all from yard sales. I got my first one when I was in high school, and they are from the 60s. They're quite big. You know, I'm sure you've seen the commercial for them, but, you know, okay. Did everyone watch Amy's video yesterday? It was really great. She was open and honest about her feelings. Not only did I watch it, but I commented on it, and she commented back. And we appreciate people like Amy and Juliet and Aaron and the female YouTubers that have hit the carnivore space. Some of the coaches that we have that are female are excellent. You have Laura Russell that goes with Russ and me on the Keto Cookout. So yes, we are very, very appreciative. We want more women in the carnivore space because you are what makes the carnivore space what it is. Us cavemen, we're cavemen. I'm a caveman, I admit it. Everyone's seen me eat. I have zero manners. All I have to do to eat, I go and grab something that was running around, cut off its head, gut it, and it's cooking within hours. An iguana? Who else would ride a bike, grab an iguana, bring it home, stick it in a file cabinet, then a few hours later put a knife through its head, cut it up in pieces, and eat it? Only one. Peter, yes, soothing, unlike some. Your voice is nice too. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And Peter loves to talk. So you always know where you're standing with Peter. Tanya and Milton, hi cutie, meow. Well, he keeps hiding from the camera, but he'll be here. Oops, run. All right. Honest about needing peace in her life. No negativity. I totally agree and commented. Now, again, as you know, I don't believe in this negativity and positivity thing. I think it's a bunch of nonsense. I believe that people are a combination of optimism and pessimism. And while optimism seems nice, optimism can get you killed in the wrong situation. When you're around people that you know and trust, optimism is warranted. But when you're in a bad neighborhood, or if you're sitting on the railroad tracks, you might be better with pessimism, because optimism isn't going to save you when the train is coming and you're sitting on the railroad tracks. Hello, Aaron. Good morning. That was a joke. Had bacon and meatballs for treaters. Well, there you go. I get referring to the candy. That's fine. She mentioned she lived near Racine. Yes. Is that in Wisconsin? I believe it is in Wisconsin. That's one state that I really want to visit because of several reasons. Several of the YouTube channels that I follow that are in farming and dairy are in Wisconsin, and I would like to meet some of these YouTubers and maybe work with them a little bit just to make some videos or just to hang out. Also, Michigan is another state I want to visit. I've got a YouTube friend that I've known for several years that's in Michigan. I'd like to work with his farm as well. They do hay over there. And, of course, my usual friends that I have in Georgia, Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska. So once my truck is running, I may do a Georgia run. We'll see. But to make the longer trips, I think I'm going to use the school bus. And I'm going to probably have to wait until I move out of here. If I do start building on my lot, I'll move the school bus over there. And then I'll use that to travel because my school bus runs on gasoline or wood. The last time I took it on a trip, which was in the late 90s, I think it was 98, I went all the way up to Iowa in that thing, and it was fueled by wood. Excuse me. I had piles of wood. Every time that I went to one of my friends that lived on a farm, everybody had a brush or wood pile. And I'd get my chainsaw out there and cut it up in pieces. And I towed a trailer. The wood gas unit was attached to the back of the bus. I had a 15-foot trailer, and I'd load it up with wood. And then all I would do, every 100 miles, I'd stop, load up the wood gas generator with more wood, and keep on trucking. And that was kind of fun. It was a very interesting trip. I may have to Google baseball league. Okay. Wisconsin, yes. I'm thinking of Notre Dame. Okay. So we have, okay, let's get back here to the comments. And Robbie Autry, good morning, Rick and everybody else. Good morning. I'm glad that you're here. It looks like we're up to 51 people. That is excellent, excellent. 51 of the best, not the rest, the best. And there'll probably be more. Can someone fill me in on what it was that set off Mitch in 10 minutes? Well, I talked about Mitch last week, and I'm not going to talk about Mitch anymore. What I would do, I would recommend to watch some of Mitch's videos. Now, Mitch has a habit of deleting some of the things that happened. He was very detailed in his explanation in his last video. Mitch is a person who, like a lot of us, is damaged, and he has feelings that get hurt, and he gets frustrated, and he changes his mind. And the thing is, Mitch is a good person at heart. I think he does the very best that he can. He may get frustrated. I mean, think about it. You spend all this time on YouTube every single day, and you may get some appreciation, but then they have people that are mean enough to email him that they don't like this or they don't like that. And Mitch, although he doesn't really admit it, well, he does admit it. He did admit it this time, but he didn't before. He's a people pleaser. So what he wants to do, he wants everyone to be happy. But the problem is there's an old saying. If you try to make everybody happy, you're going to make nobody happy. And he's changed the live stream a few times, and now I think he's made the right decision. He's not pushing himself every day. Now, when he had the stroke, he came on like once a week, then like twice and 3 times. Then he went to every day. I think he did it way too soon. And I do believe my theory is that when your brain is rebuilding itself, your body is recalibrating, a lot of the old memories and frustrations start to come up and you get irritated. It's like when you hurt yourself and then you get irritated. Every little thing irritates you. And I have to admit, I was the target of his frustration. I don't know. I don't think that I really did anything that bad. I was just being me. But I think what it was, he was frustrated, and he probably saw me as sort of maybe one of the reasons people had complained about me or something. So he decided to give me a lecture. And I mean, even though he doesn't say that he did sort of apologize for part of it, not all of it. But that matter is done. I don't have a problem. You see, despite the things that happened with Mitch, I still think that Mitch is a friend, and I like watching his channel, and I watch it every day. I don't comment as much as I used to, but I was working on my garage while I was listening to his channel, and that garage, it is really scary. That is the only garage where going through the garage is life-threatening. You have electric motors, engine blocks, and all these things stacked up. One wrong move, and you could be seriously injured or not come out of the garage. People ask me, Rick, why do you leave your garage door open? My garage door doesn't have a lock on it because it doesn't need one. Even if you had heavy equipment, it would take an hour to get through that garage. And without equipment, you have no chance. It'd be easier to go across the street, break down the door, take whatever you want, alarm goes off, and by the time the police get there, you're out of there. You come here, you break in, make one wrong move, there's a crash. Maybe a day later, something doesn't smell right. Somebody calls the police for a welfare check, and they discover your remains. And in my neighborhood, it may be a week or more. The flies and the rats and everything will get you, the possums, long before the police ever come. But anyway, that's the whole thing summed up. All right, look at us. Trying to get Amy's folklore right. Well, there you go. And here's Jonathan. Glad that you're here, Jonathan. Another one of our great YouTubers and viewer on my channel. I'm very happy to have you here as always. Okay. And Tom says a lot of the big carnivore channels are going off the rails about adding in some carbs, and they are attacking each other. It has been a little crazy. Well, I have to admit, I don't follow a lot of the YouTubers. The only ones I watch are those of you here that have channels. I have a rule that if anybody watches my videos and they have a channel, I watch theirs. That's why people say, well, Rick, you seem to be everywhere. I'm different than the average person. As a channel grows and gets more and more popular, I get less and less interested. The only 2 really popular channels I watch on a regular basis, Dr. Anthony Chafee, because I'm a moderator on his channel, and Dr. Sean Baker, because Sean Baker interviewed me. I like him. And yes, Dr. Kiltz. I watch Dr. Kiltz every single day now, which is interesting because a year ago, I never watched Dr. Kiltz. But because of the efforts that he's made, I don't know if he watches my videos. I hope he does. And if you do, I'm saying hello to you. But these other large channels, I try to contact these people. They never contact me. I figure they don't have time for me. Let them do their thing. Why do you think I watch Mitch? Because even though Mitch sometimes gets mad at me, at least he tells me that I'm there. And there's a few other of the bigger channels that know me, like Dr. Abs. He says hello. He knows who I am. And it's just, those are the people that I look for. But most of my channels, all the smaller time YouTubers, and the only one that's mentioned that is Mitch. And yeah, but you know what? If you've watched my videos, you know how I feel about eating carbohydrates. I don't do it, but if you want to do it, I believe that everyone's different. If you have a body like Paul Saladino, feel free to eat all the carbohydrates you want. If you have a body like Bill Knott, don't do it. It will destroy your life. So it's that simple. And if you're one of the other influencers, I mean, there's influencers that were really strong. Think of Shaun White, Intentional Carnivore, going strong, fell off the wagon, fell into the duck pond, gained all the weight back. You don't want to do that. So as a low-carb and carnivore promoter, influencer, to recommend eating carbohydrates to everyone is irresponsible, in my opinion, and shouldn't be done. But be like me. If they don't bother you, I have a rule on Rick's heart attack diet, and you probably know it's very simple. You eat meat and eggs and some dairy. Never eat these things. Never eat raw leaves, stems, roots, or seeds. Never, ever, ever eat those. And anything made from any of those parts is unsuitable to eat, which means you can't eat fruit if you're not allergic to it. That includes mangoes, avocados, papayas, tomatoes. What else? Anything that has seeds in it is a fruit. Eat the fruit, don't eat the seeds. And what about a coconut? Coconut is a seed. Well, the coconut is the exception because the coconut is the only seed that I know of in the entire world that does not make me sick. The only raw seed that I can eat without getting very sick is a coconut. That's it. And a coconut is unique because it uses no chemical defenses. The coconut is a survivor. It is filled with water, fats, and carbohydrates. The coconut uses its husk and its shell to defend itself against being eaten. And therefore, coconut, and it's also a tropical plant. So instead of using unstable oils, it uses more saturated tropical fats. And again, I'm talking to those of you who are keto because not everybody that watches my channel is a carnivore. And do I have a problem with that? Of course not. If the keto diet works for you, even if you're like my friend that is only 50% meat, but he's basically meat-based keto. He's heavy on the vegetables. He eats seasonal fruit. He's 44 now? He looks really, really, really good. I wish he wasn't so shy. Maybe one day, if you're watching this, which I don't think you are, you will come on my channel and you will share with the world your experience growing up vegetarian, becoming vegan, living as a vegan for decades, having your health completely decline, having so much digestive issues that they were talking about surgery, having difficulty, I think it was called dysphagia, difficulty swallowing, waking up in the middle of the night unable to breathe, gaining body fat, all these terrible things, and now you're lean. You have a body that most people would like. In fact, your vegan friends, they're after you. Your regular girlfriend is jealous because of that, and it's all because of the meat-based keto diet. So again, you don't have to be carnivore to get the benefits. My recommendation is simple. You eat what you want to eat, but do what I do. I will never, ever buy store fruit. I don't buy anything from the produce section of the grocery store. The only thing I buy from a grocery store is meat and cleaning supplies. That's it. I don't buy anything else from the grocery store. You've seen me go in the store. You see how I shop. I do hit the dumpster too. And then there's parking lot chicken and duck. But again, those are animal products. When I go to Aldi, I also buy dairy, but I never buy fruits or vegetables. Occasionally, a friend of mine will ask me to buy them, things like oranges or cabbage or whatever. I do have a friend that I taught how to make sauerkraut. So I will buy certain vegetables from the store, but for myself, never. It's just a rule that I have. Any crop that is a commodity crop is not in my house. I will never eat it. This is why I will never buy bananas or plantains from the store. I will never buy coffee. And I know a lot of you drink coffee, but you know why I won't? I don't like the taste of coffee. But because coffee is a commodity crop and you can't grow it in your yard, I won't drink it. So my rule is meat-based diet, some dairy if it doesn't bother you, and meats include seafood. So if you like seafood, go for it. Like Dr. Kiltz added seafood. I think it's helping him. That's my recommendation. When it comes to fruits and vegetables, if you don't grow them yourself or you don't know who's growing them, don't eat them. That's it. That's all I do. Now, some people may have been raised by vegans or vegetarians. You may need to eat the vegetables. But for me, it's a no-no. All right, so we'll go back to the comments and let's see. Duckman Wood, yes. Yep, Jonathan. And again, glad that Jonathan drops in. I know Jonathan is a busy man, but take a little bit of time and check out my live. I appreciate it. Andy Beddoes, hi, Rick. Expect the worst, hope for the best. Yes, I believe that. Dr. Chafee do something on, yeah, I think Dr. Chafee is posting a video as well today. This is one of the reasons why I'm going to limit the lives. Like I said, we'll cut this off at 10. I'll hit the yard sale now. I have in my pocket what I need for the yard sale. Here it is. So we have a 10. We have another 10 and a bunch of ones. I usually, let's see, how much do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 26, $27 in ones, and I have $20 in tens. Okay? So $47 maximum for the yard sale. I need to get a few things. If I can find some tools, that's great. But I need to find a decent suitcase because I haven't been out of town in 20 years and I don't know where my old suitcase is. I may have gotten rid of it. Who knows? I do have a vintage suitcase, but this thing is from the 60s and I don't trust it, so I'll find another one. As you know, in 2 weeks, I'll have to be on the bus going to Tampa for Quack Your Health, or as I call it, they call it Hack Your Health, I call it Quack Your Health. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be hopefully doing, and some of you may be there, and if you are there, say hi to Rick, because Rick is easy to find. When you're 6'6" and with shoes on, I'm 6'7", you'll see me. You'll see my dark hair. Really nice for a 57-year-old, dark eyebrows. I'll be shaved much nicer then. And I'll probably be wearing the picnic shirt. I have this. This is sort of a work shirt that I'm wearing because I was at the yard sale and I'm going back to the yard sale. But I will definitely take the orange shirt and a couple of other things, a white shirt that I've worn, my pants. It'll be the typical Rick that you remember. Stand out versus everybody else. And if I do get one of those Quack Your Health shirts, I'll put that underneath so I can show that as well. Because that's a great tribute to a big quack. I hope for the best. I like to find a farmer that still makes real butter. Or if you could find a dairy nearby, you can make your own. It's not that hard to make. And there we are. We were talking about you earlier. Hi, my beautiful friends. Well, thank you. I don't know if we're all beautiful. Maybe we're beautiful on the inside. Definitely not the outside. At least not this one. Hi, Amy. Hello, Amy. Trying to get this right. Aren't you from Wisconsin? Pop slept in. Okay, that's good. Jerry girl, glad that you're here. Excuse me. Maybe replay it live. Yeah, they're talking about the Mitch. He deleted that one. That's why I covered it a little bit. All right, pop all you want. There we go. Every sugar, my addiction goes away. I like that one. Excuse me. Oh, you're listening in the gym. Well, there you go. That's where you should be. That's how you gain the muscle. 40 hours into this fast. Oh, irritation setting in. Well, it's never fun to starve yourself, but you'll pull through it. Never heard of that one. My coffee. Oh, right. Right next to my bed worked out great. Well, see, I'm different. When I got up, my problem is when I get up in the morning, it's hard to go back to sleep. I usually wake up between 6 and 7. And when the time changes, it'll probably be between 5 and 6. I go to bed at 11:30. I'd like to sleep to 7:30, but I can't. I can't get more than 7 hours sleep. And I'm usually up before 6. So I force myself to lay in bed. And I wait. And finally, around 6:30, I just have to get up. So I'm the opposite. Most people, they want to stay in bed. I'm the opposite. I never use an alarm clock. I haven't had one since I was a kid. I used to have a hard time getting up when I was in junior high. But when I got to high school, it changed. 6:30 was the time I had to get up in school to be there before school started at 8. So we could eat breakfast and all that. I would struggle through breakfast. But once I became carnivore, I blasted breakfast. Instead of having to eat disgusting oatmeal and a piece of fruit and the boiled eggs, which weren't so great, I had 3 to 4 eggs deep fried in lard or tallow, and I had my bacon and a piece of meat, and I would blast through that breakfast. So my mom, of course, bacon. So mom would make the eggs, I would make the bacon, and I'd make the meat. And I'd eat that, and by 7:30, I was ready to go out the door. No problem. In junior high, my mother would have to come in my room and keep poking me. Get up, get up, get up. You got to get to school. Oh, no, I hate school. Boy, do I hate school. And I mean, I still kind of hate school. I hate it when you have to sit still and you have to listen. I don't learn that way. I can't learn by sitting still and listening. When I taught classes, I was dynamic. I would involve the students. In fact, the biggest complaint I had is the students would say I put them on the spot. But if I saw somebody that looked distracted, I'd be like, all right, who wants to help me solve this problem? And I'll give them a description. Well, I have this computer. When I turn it on, it's doing nothing. It doesn't even post. What do you think the problem could be? What do I need to check? It should be a simple question. Anyone would say, well, why don't you check the power supply? And back then, the power supply, you just switch it on, get a voltmeter, stick it in the terminals, turn it on. All right, if the power supply is good, check the motherboard for shorts. And then we just went down the line, but he put me on the spot. Well, that's kind of the whole idea of the class. Just general frustration, but I think the new changes to Mitch's channel to include a return to positive, free, unlimited open chat and free lives 3 days a week will bring back the good old days. I hope so too. And you know what? Good for Mitch. I warned Mitch before when he started going every day. Maybe too soon. 1 day a week was fine in the beginning, 2 days, maybe 3 days. You need every other day. You notice that I only do 1 live a week, just 1. I'm a busy man, even when I'm not working. Do you think I want to get up every single day and prepare for a live? And it's not necessary. What I want to do with my YouTube channel is basically what Mitch is doing, and I've said this for a while. Build a nice computer, do the edited videos, the 10 to 15 minute edited videos. Put them up there. The videos could be anything from carnivore diet to central banking. And then people would watch it. There may be 2 videos a week, maybe 3 sometimes. Maybe a video on how to rebuild a transmission. So on Rick's channel, you'll see a lot of different videos on different things. And then on Saturday morning, you log in and Rick is giving a live. And then that way, the stuff you saw in the videos, you can ask me, hey, Rick, what about this? What about that? And I can tell you these things. So the live becomes the social event. The live is not instruction. If you're going to watch my channel, and this is the other thing too, the advantage of having a video for instruction is that you can stop the video and rewind it. If I'm doing a live and I say something that doesn't make sense, you may ask me a question without thinking about it. So I'd rather post the video, have you watch the video, come up with your questions, and maybe by the time Saturday comes around, you've already answered your question. And you may be able to help somebody else. So my chat is open so everybody can say hi to each other. Everybody can interact. And it doesn't matter. I'm not distracted by it. I look at the chat constantly. But my mind works different because I can multitask. And this is one of the things I say about women. Women have a great talent to multitask. They also have the talent of reading people's emotions, which mine varies. But my multitasking ability is really, really good. So I kind of bridge that gap between the two. And I think for many people, if you don't understand that, it's going to offend you for no reason. Okay, no, it's yours now. I'm doing well. Had a stent put in my widowmaker. Oh, well, I'm glad that you don't have to have a heart attack because they were able to fix the problem before it went bad. If it wasn't for modern medicine, I think a lot of people wouldn't even be here today. I would still be here because I have no access to modern medicine. But maybe one day. I missed Amy's live. Well, I'm sure that it's still there. I caught 4 carnivore lives, though. That's a lot. You're living my dream. Yes. Hope the regular Mitch Fits will give Mitch a second chance and consider returning. Well, they probably will. What I'm thinking about is just those of us that have YouTube channels, we can mention that. I'm mentioning it now. You're mentioning it for me. He'll get people back. Don't worry. Mitch is going to get more people than he started with when this whole thing happened. I know how this works. People like the drama, so he'll get more. Just dropping in to say hi for 20 minutes. On Saturday, I focus on my interests here. Okay. And let's see what that symbol is. I'm not sure what the symbol is, but I'm glad that you do. Well, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon when you have your live. Carnivore and way too much coffee. Way too much coffee. Okay. Well, that's it. And I don't drink any. Although I will have my drink. Now, the only thing I don't like about coffee is that when people drink coffee, because it's so hot, they have to suck on it and it goes, and then they go bloop, put the cup down. That can be a little annoying, but it depends on the person. Thank you for your post yesterday. Okay, I don't even know Mitch's status at this point. Well, give him a chance. You'll be fine. Mitch will be fine. I don't worry about him. Mitch should do a once a month talking about addiction. Not a good idea to talk about it all the time. Well, I think what Mitch should do is just what he said he's going to do, a series of videos. And then when you have these videos, 10 to 15 minutes, that seems to be the sweet spot, and you can watch them. I think it'll help his channel grow even more. That's what I think. But then again, what do I know? I'm just a quack. Good to see you. Good morning. Peace, love, and harmony. Well, there you go. And we have a complaint here. Terry girl, I can't watch Mitch anymore until he stops whining about all this. Gotten too boring and depressing for me. Well, then don't watch him. Don't watch him. Mitch has to say what he has to say to feel better. I think if he holds it all in, he'll explode. So if it bothers you, don't watch him. There's plenty of other channels to watch. You have Amy. You have Juliet. You have me. You have Thomas. It's not like you have Aaron. You can't get mad when you watch Aaron's channel, unless you don't like animal noises and crazy kids. But you have so many choices now. So take a break from Mitch. Don't make Mitch's life more difficult. He's got enough problems as it is. Let him do his thing. I pray for Mitch to get better and heal. I believe he is a good person too. I just can't watch him be rude to his viewers anymore. It causes me to go to the fridge and eat snacks, and it derails me. Well, Amy, you mentioned that in your video, and if that is the case, don't watch him. Let somebody else watch him. You can. What I would do if I were you, just check out his standalone videos. Those are pretty encouraging. He doesn't go crazy on those. So if you don't want to watch the live, watch Mitch's other videos. And I think that'll do him good anyway, because the more views he gets, the more advertising money you'll get. Like me, I don't put ads on my my live. I did once, and we had the whole carry thing, and I had so many complaints about the ads, and I only made $3. So I said, screw it. My viewers give me more than that in food. Why in the world would I torture them with ads? So I turned the ads off. I don't care. Rick's live streams will never have ads, except the ones that YouTube puts at the beginning, ever. I will turn on ads for my edited videos just to see what happens. I'd like to make a little money from YouTube, but I'm not going to do it on the lives, because the lives are interaction. And if you get an ad, how can you interact when you have to go and wait for the ad and click it? And we don't do that. So mid-roll ads, not happening on the lives. Peace, love, life. Yes, I wish. Yes, you do. I know that. I'm sure he knows that too. Mitch makes me to drink whiskey instead of coffee, or maybe an Irish coffee, right? Damn, Rick the wisdom. Well, there you go. Well, Amy, yes, I used to watch Mitch all the time. I'm in 2023, 2024. I didn't see Mitch until 2024 myself, but I missed that Mitch. Well, that Mitch I think will return. If he goes back to the way he was before he did all the lives, because I know back then he didn't do all the lives, he'll be fine. Mitch is on the recovery. He'll be fine. Just don't aggravate him. It's not necessary. No problem. Stress eating happens. Well, I don't eat when I'm stressed out. When I'm stressed out, I actually don't eat. So I'm probably the opposite. I ate less when I took care of my mom, and I actually got fatter. I wish I could find the picture of me with a little bit of a stomach, a little bit of body fat, and that was eating less and being stressed to the max with my mother. My dad stressed me out, and then my mom stressed me out. After mom died, within 2 months, I was back to what I am now. It's incredible how quickly the body can just let go of that fat. It's amazing. I pray for him too because I care. Met a lot of people here through Mitch. Yes, that is true. What is that quote again? What was Rick quote again about happiness? That's a good question. I'm not even sure myself. I went back and watched some old videos, and it's definitely different now. Yes. That's because he wasn't doing a live back then. Private. Well, he's made 3 of his lives public and 2 private, so it's a compromise. Stroke, love watching his recovery, but I don't like the way he acts toward his viewers. That's true. All right. I'm making heart attack chicken and chicken skins today, Rick. Well, thank you. I enjoy the fact, Amy, I've seen your videos, and heart attack chicken is delicious. I love all the new channels I've been gravitating together lately. That's what we should do. Really important. George and Laney, cute couple. There you go. I love Mitch. I'm a Mitch fit. I won't comment because he don't want me to. Lately, he's just been talking about nothing interesting. Well, Aaron, that's a good point. And again, that's fine. You know, if you don't like the live, you have your own. And I've seen a few of your lives, and we love having you here. This is the thing. I can't think of anyone in here that I don't like. It's like all like-minded people, birds of a feather flock together. There's no one in this chat that I don't like. That's why I don't have a moderator, and I don't have to ban anyone. Mitch was talking about how many people he's had to ban over the years when he was looking to unban me. I looked in that part of my YouTube, and it's empty. In 18 years, I've never had to do that. Any creepers in here not saying hello? I'm sure there's a few people that just want to listen. Maybe they're busy working, or maybe they're sleeping. And they're going to get it subliminally, which is great. That's fine. Open to all at 7 a.m. Yes. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That is correct. And I have 60 people out right now. I can't believe how many people have logged in. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah. See? You mentioned that on Friday. Went to soaking wet shopping trip Aldi. Yes, she's very beautiful. Okay. Love Aaron Booby Goats. We all do. Put all the meats in the freezer. Only thing left in the fridge is eggs and butter. Excellent. I've been watching you since I was keto, Rick. Well, I'm glad that you have. I didn't know you until recently. I'm glad you've been watching me. That's great. I don't know if you saw my early videos, interviews that I did. Let me get some. See, when you drink water, it's different than drinking coffee. There's a little crunching involved. There's no slurping, and you don't hear the cup. Crunchy ice. Done. Now, again, the other reason I don't like coffee, I don't like anything hot. I don't like hot drinks. Now, I do like hot food. A nice hot iguana right out of the pot, a duck out of the pot, deep fried in beef tallow, heart attack chicken. Oh, I need to get some more. I ran out of chicken. Oh, no, I do have chicken. Again, one of my viewers sent me chicken, and I have more chicken in the refrigerator, so I have plenty of chicken. In fact, I had to make one less trip to the store this week, thanks to one of our generous viewers. And again, there was more spent on that food than YouTube would ever give me in advertising. So why would I subject my friends to that crap when it doesn't pay me anything? Okay, so that's why I love Mitch. He real too. He might be hiding some stuffs, but his emotions are probably real, and he might be struggling something we don't know. I just put it that way. Yeah, you're right. And he's explained some of it. Anyone have a favorite bacon? Whatever bacon shows up in my refrigerator, it's my favorite. I got angry when he blew up about Jesus. Well, now you know, if you're going to visit Mitch's live stream, you don't use a J word and you don't use the F word. And I'm not talking about the one that ends with a K. I'm talking about the one that ends with an H. I really like that Sam's Club bacon. Yes, you get like 10 pound, but the price has been going up. Everything's been going up thanks to inflation. Federal Reserve lowered interest rates again. They're printing more money. I think they're already on 10 trillion of QE. It'll be 20 trillion of QE by next year. So they're determined to ruin our lives. That's why the 5 and 10 cent store is now the $5 store. That's the Federal Reserve's inflation. It has nothing to do. They have convinced people that prices should go up every year. And what they don't tell you is that's how their buddies get filthy rich. Because they buy the items first. They label them as assets. Federal Reserve prints the money, which causes the value of everything to go up. We have to buy those items from them, and they cash in. So that's how they do it. Then they do the next batch of money. Federal Reserve lowers interest rates, prints money, sends it to the banks. The banks actually create the money in this country. They do it through loans. And the cycle continues, and the money supply goes up and up and up. But the debt grows even higher because it's leverage. It takes more debt. So eventually, it may have been, a little debt, a lot of economic activity. Then it becomes parity. Then it becomes more debt, less economic activity. And eventually the debt is so high that the money required to finance the debt is more than they can extract out of the taxpayers, and the whole system implodes. And then they start with another system. Maybe this time a digital currency. Who knows? If they can't do that, they start World War III. Blow up most of the earth. The wealthy come back. The parasites, they're out and about. Of course, a lot of them are gone because they ate each other. And then they just have to wait until the peasant class multiplies to the point where they can exploit them again. It's the same thing as cattle farming, except at least with the cattle, they get taken care of. With us, we just get fleeced. It's like you get fleeced and thrown about like sheep without a shepherd. That's basically what we're dealing with. My problem with all these saying add back carbs, they keep referring to lab numbers based on a population of sick people. They keep referring to cortisol as only a stress hormone. False. That is correct. Cortisol is not only a stress hormone, it's also anti-inflammatory. So that's why they give people corticosteroids when they get injured. They lie to us all the time. I like Costco salted bacon. Well, there you go. I love rye bacon still cured in sugar. Writes Applewood smoked bacon and Walmart thick cut smoked bacon. Oh, there you go. Doesn't just happen with protein. That's true. It can happen with anything. As long as you have a surplus of some kind of mass, even with fats. They can do it from, my understanding is the, what do they call that? Triglycerides can be turned into glucose. And those are fats. Bacon is happening today, just a matter of time. Well, there you go. All right. Wiki rewrites my favorite. I get it at Sam's. Excellent. Saw a replay, thought Tuesday and Thursday, open chat. Okay, it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but yeah. Sam's Club in my area, Costco up North Jersey. Okay. Sensitive about something, they don't want to open up my experience. That's true. Wow. So somebody's out there. What'd you get him with, rifle or bow and arrow? Nice deer. Heard about a local carnivore this morning. He was anorexic, discovered steak and eggs, and is now perfectly healthy. I'm trying to do the interview. Yes, I hope you can get the interview. We need to find more of these people. And we have a lot of people that were overweight. We need to find more people that are skinny. Now, somebody might think that I'm anorexic because I'm so thin. But if you look at my face and the rest of my body, I don't consider myself to be anorexic. I don't have ribs that are showing on the back. They show a little bit on the side, but not on the back. And I'm not that bony. I mean, I'm skinny, but I got a good layer of skin. I have some fat. I have a little bit of fat in different areas. My face, as you can see, is not sunk in. So I don't consider myself to be anorexic, but then again, I eat a high-fat carnivore diet. Just got a 4-pound pack of rice. Okay. Not a baconholic like I used to. All right, good. Oh, excuse me. That's really good. My local burger has great bacon. It's $10 a pound. That's crazy. I would like to stop coffee again, but I always go back. Costco bacon is 4 1-pound packs for $20. Okay. I believe Tuesday and Thursday is members only at 7. Yes. And Thursday's always been members only for Mitch. Recommended bacon grease and coffee. Well, that's good. Holy cow, 56 watching. Looks like it's down to 46. I don't know what happened. I must have scared them off. I think it's better if you eat fruit. It should be ripe too. Well, that's true. Less toxins in the fruit. I'm sad our yard sales are done for the year. Well, they're just getting going down here. Hopefully they'll share something or give you some beef jerky. Okay. Or sweet potatoes. Bacon Fest in Pennsylvania. Shot a doe yesterday morning. He cooked up the heart. My 3 great-grandchildren made it all him. Oh, he didn't get much. So they got it before he could. Got a little change in my pocket. There you go. Used to love plums. Still probably tasty. Okay. 8, yes. Could banana be affected of pesticides or plantains? If from the store, it could be, but not from my yard. There are no pesticides used in my yard ever. Just look for Lurch and Uncle Fester. You can't miss them. You rang. Okay, Amy. I eat fruit sometimes. I do use onions, garlic, and peppers for flavoring my chuck roast. Just salt is too boring for me. Okay. If it doesn't bother you, go ahead and use it. Same thing with peppers. Doesn't bother you, go ahead and use it. Rick's been so friendly to the local duck crowd. If they only knew. Well, they may figure it out. But don't worry. It's going to be several months before any of them visit the kitchen. They're a little too small. I grabbed one, nice and plump, but not much meat. I mean, it's not worth it. We want them to get bigger. And again, we want to separate the males from the females because the females, they go to egg production. The males, they go to the special duck fattening area with the spring-loaded guillotine and instant duck head removal, quick boiling, a little time in the refrigerator, and in less than 8 hours, what was waddling and quacking is going to be sizzling and delicious. Delicious duck. Had a nice dark hair and everything. It's now all white. Well, that comes with age. And white hair doesn't necessarily make you unattractive. If you maintain a healthy body, you don't look like something that came out of a dumpster. Some people are more attractive. I've had women tell me that they appreciate a man with gray hair if he's in good shape and especially if he's got this. So if these were 100s instead of $1 bills, you'd probably get a lot of attention. Probably the wrong kind of attention, but you definitely get attention. Good day, fellowship. Hey, there you go. You have returned. Amy had to miss PhD live class. Well, right now you're in HAD live class. Rick's heart attack diet. There you go. Rick's yard is a duck trap. Well, yes, it can be a duck trap. What did you do with the duck you caught in your yard? I let it go. I let it go right after the video. It needs to be with its family for a few more months before I determine whether that's a male or female. I think that one's a female, a little bit smaller. And if it is a female, I'm going to try to get her to nest in my yard and lay some eggs for me, because that's one of the best things about ducks. Free-range eggs are great, but duck eggs are the best. There's nothing like a duck egg. Oh, very nice. And that's why I keep at least one male around to stimulate the females to lay eggs, because the males don't mate with the females. They won't lay many eggs. This week at work killed me. I could still sleep. So I'm tired after surgery and going back to work. Yeah. Excuse me. I saw a story. Oh, got that hernia surgery. Now, I have one of those hernias as well, but I've had it for about 10 years since that car accident. Since I don't have medical care, I haven't done anything with it. It doesn't really hurt anyway. Maybe one day. Maybe in a few years when I get Medicare in about, 7 years, 8 years, whatever it is. I'll see what happens. So if I can last another 7.5 years, I'll be in the doctor for the first time. They'll probably look at me. I have a feeling they'll probably say, well, you're not 65. You're not eligible for Medicare. Here's my driver's license. Yes, I'm 65. Oh, impossible. All right. Well, let me check your medical records. You don't have any medical records. Do you have dental records? I have nothing. When was the last time you went to a doctor? 1996? Huh? It'll be, what? 2033? You're born in 1968. Huh. It's hard to imagine, especially when I'm living in the same place I grew up in. Not that long ago, I was a kid. I had a hard time reaching the doorknob. Now my head rubs the door frame. Incredible. Hopefully I will not be living here when I'm 65, but I'll have a lot of the same stuff. All this stuff you see here, the bookcase, the shelf. This couch is old. I may replace it, or what I might do is just reupholster it because this thing is really ratty, but it'll go with me. And I'm sure if I haven't died of a heart attack by then and YouTube still exists, I'll still be doing YouTube videos. So I'm sure a lot of you will still be around in another 7.5 years. So we'll see. And hopefully by then, I'll have a lot more experiences. Instead of just doing a bike ride through the city, I'll be going out through farms. I'll have my own farm, pasture, you know. We'll make some lessons on how to process your own beef at home. We'll have more duck farming videos and chickens and all the other good stuff. So I think the best is yet to come. As long as I don't die of a heart attack and as long as I don't stay in Miami too long. Because if I stay in Miami another 7.5 years, my life is going to be the same or worse. So moving out is going to be the key. Hopefully, this real estate market will crash and I'll be in the Lake Okeechobee area, which is where I intended to move to 25 years ago. And I'll be selling this overpriced dump to some idiot who'll probably tear it down and build a box. And that'll be that. So, but it'll be good. And I'll probably have the same vehicles. I'll still have my Chargers. Hopefully by then I'll be driving some of them. I'll be out there and fire up the 69 Charger and go for a ride. Oh, look at the old guy with a cool car. Yes. All right, I always cook my chuck roast from frozen. That's a good idea. Bacon. People at 20 are balding right now. I know a few of them that are balding. But then again, even when somebody goes bald, if they have a good body otherwise, it doesn't seem to hurt their attractiveness. If they have money, well, they're even more attractive, right? I hope you're feeling better after surgery. Yes. Line the crock pot with bacon. Okay. There we go. That's an idea right there. They probably ruin the bacon with sugar oils. Yeah. Seems like a happy place. That's right. And Marla Kelly, good morning all. Good morning. Good morning from Miami, Florida. And we have some good mornings here in return. I can only do one live a week too. Yes. Too busy. Have a full-time job. Singing 2 choras. Care for a 94-year-old with dementia. And you know, if my mom would still have been alive, she'd be 95 right now. So maybe in a way, my mom dying at 90 might have actually done me a favor because who knows? I may never have gone on YouTube. If I was still taking care of my mom, I may never have had that interview. A lot of things may have changed. I wanted my mom to live longer. I figured that her dad lived to 94. She should have lived to 94 or longer, but she lived to 90. That was it. And the last 10 years of her life were not great. But what can you do? I cook chuck roast in a slow cooker. Okay. For 8 hours, comes out tender. Well, that's awesome. No time. I don't have time for that either. Me too. I got my chuck roast in the Instapot. You want runny, crispy? No, I mix the egg together. I want it soft and full of beef tallow. That's how I like it. Now I like Rick even more. Well, I don't know what I did. I figured I drove everybody away. But I see now I'm up to 54 on the count. So we're doing pretty good. Can we get the same amount of people as my age, 57? Let's see. Amy, you do a lot. Yes, you do. Okay, and the chat jumped ahead. So let me see if I can get in here, and we will. I fell behind. So one bad thing about this, it's just the chat jumps around, and then I can't do it. So we're going to have to shift into high. Let's go into overdrive, and let's see. Rick, like you, I can multitask too. I can chat with friends while listening to you ramble on. That is correct. See? Not hard to do. I'm waiting for the memes, AI, and iguana catching, and interesting topic shorts. Well, we'll see. Try magnesium for back spasms. Make carnivore villains of those adding back carbs. That would be funny, Amy. That would be, I'm sure it might offend somebody, but it'd be funny. I like 20-minute videos. Yeah, well, I'm going to hit the 10 to 15 minute at first, and I'll adjust the time to see what people like the best. All right, drama. I like the shorts. Father was a bit older than Mitch. When he died, I noticed a change in him for a decade. I think it's just the last ending of your life when you just let your frustrations out. Yeah, my parents did that as well. It happens. Chat your little brains out as I walked away from live, came back, and he ended it only 15 minutes later when Peter was up to his old tricks again. Okay. I still see a lot of comments about Mitch. He was proud to say, okay, talking, helping someone. He was proud to say he dropped Peter and Ellen as moderators. He's alienating himself. Well, he might bring him back. The one thing you got to learn about Mitch, nothing is absolutely final. Mitch said himself, he has a hair trigger. He does things. If it doesn't work, he changes it. That's generally somebody with a very high IQ. Yeah, he wants an Alia. Okay. Rick does have a relaxing tone. I feel this live is stress-free. I find that my life, I have to be this way with all the problems I encounter, all the issues I have. Something could be blowing up, shorting out, catching fire, parts falling off as you drive, losing your temper. And this is the one thing about Mitch. I mean, Mitch taught pilots, didn't he? I can't imagine Mitch going crazy when something goes wrong in an aircraft. I would think that Mitch would be logical and take control. So I think it's just part of, as the stick, as he says. I think that's what it is. It's like Barkay and his ad hominem attacks. I think it's just something to keep himself relevant and also a form of self-therapy. So it doesn't bother me. I've been targeted. Peter and I think, have been targeted by Mitch more than anybody else. And but I think Mitch he's very smart. He knows that we can take it. He knows that he's not going to offend us that easily. So, and it's good. It's great therapy for him. Feels better. I just hope that he doesn't do it to anyone that might be seriously offended, and it might knock them off the wagon and right into the duck food. Next thing you know, they're waddling around in the duck pond, stuffing their face with Doritos and pizza. My new gaming PC should be here. Oh, got on a lightning deal. Nice. Mini gaming PC. I wonder how effective that is for live streaming. Okay. Ellen was good and should have been more of a feature live. Well, she was for a while until she had to go away. And I can see what Mitch was saying. He liked the idea of having somebody regular that could be his sidekick. And maybe he'll find one. Maybe if it's not Ellen, it'll be somebody else. Maybe it'll happen. Who knows? But it's not going to be us. It's not me. I can't do it. Any of us that work for a living can't do that, but, you know. You still eat grass? I didn't know you were a cow. I could chew ice cubes as a kid. Once I got braces, and got never again. Well, when I was a kid, anything cold would hurt my teeth. Even eating ice cream would make my teeth hurt. Now I can chew ice. It doesn't bother me. Got to go. Horse race is starting and the money's down. Wish me luck. Well, I hope so. Don't be like me that has the worst luck of anybody. I don't even know I started watching Rick. He lured me to his yard just like a duck. Be careful chewing that ice. You might break a vegan tooth. Well, there you go. I don't chew ice. I don't want to break my Mercedes-Benz. All right. Good luck. Yeah, we got people wishing you good luck at the horse race. I guess nowadays you do electronic, you don't have to go to the track. Around here we used to joke, oh, when they go to the track, their money won't be coming back. What word begins with F and ends with H? The word is faith. And it's Terry Girl mentioned that. I'm doing a controversial live with Carrie this evening. Oh, the history of the carnivore diet is way older than Sean Baker's book. I'm going to mention Rick. You know, it's going to be interesting because when you mention Rick to Carrie, Carrie might go, oh no, not Rick again. But we'll see. But if you're watching Carrie and you did that one time, and I'm sorry I didn't realize that it really was you. I thought it was a joke. But if you are watching me, Carrie, in 2 weeks, I may be looking at you in person. So you may have to look up at the really strange carnivore that may have a knife and fork in his hand looking at an iguana or duck. I don't know how many ducks and iguanas are in Tampa, but don't be surprised if you see me chasing after a big fat Muscovy duck. I'm not going to cook it, but I will grab it. And like I do with other people, if I can get it, maybe some of the other people that are there for Hack Your Health, I may show them up close what a Muscovy duck is like and cuddle up to the cute little bumpy head and say, hello, Mr. Ducky. Ooh, dookie, 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 dookie. Put my finger in the duck's mouth, ruffle its feathers. With people in horror, what are you doing? Showing the claws, because they do have claws and they try to claw you to get away. But I always set them down. I'm not going to take a knife and cut its head off right there at the convention center. But well, we'll see. I do like grabbing the ducks and feeding them and all that. Science is faith too. It kind of is. I like a channel where I can say faith or God, like Dr. Kiltz. I can only watch replays as it's 3 a.m. I am sleeping. Okay. Wasn't sure if it was a story about fruits or the birds and the bees. Everything needs faith. Well, you got to have faith the sun's going to come up. You got to have faith that when you get in your car, you're not going to be hit by a garbage truck. So, still learning. I have faith things will get better. Everything needs sacrifice. Faith without works is dead. Someone's quoting scripture there. Yes, Lisa. That's why I said blackberry sweeter. The juice, Lord, please don't have a blackberry. That's what Jesus taught, and that's my faith. Okay? My favorite preacher is on Hillside Bible Baptist Church. He is fundamentalist Baptist. Well, as long as your favorite was not, what was the guy's name? Fred Phelps of the Westboro Baptist Church. That's probably one. I laugh when I used to hear that guy. That guy was so funny. If you don't know who it is, look up Westboro Baptist Church, Fred Phelps. If you want to get a really good laugh, these are the crazy people that stand with signs. It's quite funny. And Jeanette likes Russ too. You, me, and a lot of other people. I'll be back later, have to rewatch Rick. And the car show now, awesome. Well, hopefully in the next half an hour, I'll be at the yard sale. I'll take some pics, some special molars. You must mean Mopars, and yes, Mopars, there you go. See how many 69 Chargers, 68 to 70 Chargers. He is fabulous and also very handsome. Jack Hibbs from Calvary Chapel. So what is he like? Muscular, blonde-haired, about 5'10"? Oh, wait a minute. That's my friend in Minnesota. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Gigi Mudbone. I'm on silent, but yes, Homestead How. Live at 8:20 p.m. And I will try to make sure I get here. I have to admit, I haven't watched Homestead How in 2 weeks. Ever since I've been on Mitch's private live stream, I don't watch this Thursday night anymore. And, oh boy, for some reason I'm not getting recommendations. And, I mean, I like Carrie. I do. But how many times can you hear the same carnivore stories and the talk about the movie, which when it comes out, hopefully somebody will send it. I'll check it out. But yeah, I'm going to try to get that. Anytime that somebody I know is being interviewed on any channel, I do try to watch it. So Carrie's interviewed a lot of people. Well, there's a few that he hasn't, even some really good ones, but It's not because he asked and was refused. I'm short and stout. Well, there you go. That's important. Give Hibbs a try, but I like a bit rougher style. Morning Mudbone. You've seen that Halo premiere. I see 49 viewers now. I actually see what looks like 53. Let me check and see how many people we have. We're back to 55. Arrive alive. Don't drive 55. So we have 55. So this must be way behind. I don't play Halo. Okay, we have video games. I don't want to eat heart. You should try it. You might like it. Jack gets political. Trying to save. Well, if you're religious, you shouldn't be political. It should be a separation, right? Morning. There's Juliet. I was talking about you earlier. Another one of our carnivore superstars. And she also has a live right before our friend Amy on Sunday. And hopefully this Sunday I will be here and I will not be working. I'll be able to catch both of your lives. Today, like I said, I want to end this a little earlier than usual. Plus, there's other people having a live at 11. I'm going to take you with me to the yard sale to see if you can actually see what's going on and experience a little bit of life with Rick, the quack. All right, so we have hi CW, morning Juliet. I don't think I want to try cow intestines either. They don't look as appetizing. They are kind of rubbery, but they're good for making sausages. All the nice peeps here. Well, thank you, Juliet. I'm glad that you are here. And let's see what else we have. I am not a savage is what I say about eating stuff like that. Well, there you go. Oh, we have an actual question. Do you have to defeather the ducks before boiling? Well, actually, you boil the ducks to defeather them. You can't cook them with the feathers because feathers are full of nasty tasting stuff. And nobody wants to eat something. You have to pluck the feathers out after you cook it. It's going to be all burnt. It's going to smell like burnt hair. So you use boiling water and you what they call scald, or you plunge the duck in and out. Not enough to cook it, but enough to heat up the skin. And then you start pulling the feathers out. And there's actually, if you want to see videos on it, there is a guy on the internet that has a video. There's several of them, but there's one that I think is kind of funny. It says Cooking Esmeralda, I think it is. This is like 15 years ago. I remember seeing this, and I laughed when I saw it. But, yeah, you have to defeather by boiling it. And then I don't really boil the duck after that. What I'll do, I'll put it in the refrigerator to cool off. And then it's either going to be roasted or deep fried. I never boil duck meat. It just doesn't taste good. You're better off roasting or deep frying. And don't roast canal duck fresh from the canal, or it's going to be like eating shoe leather. Only roast a duck that you raise yourself. I recommend a minimum of 2 weeks fattening duck food, but a month is best. If you can fatten your duck for a month, you're going to get the most flavorful, delectable, delicious duck meat you've ever tasted. Better than the best tomahawk ribeye you'll ever have. Oh, it's so good. I'm getting duck cravings. This is a problem. I start talking about duck, and I'm like, delicious ducky. Yum, yum. Can't resist. But anyway. Okay, so yes. Hopefully we'll catch that live tonight. We have other lives. Live at 11 today. We have Thomas usually has a live at 4. Distinct weird flavor. I'm not a menudo fan of stomach lining. Like menudo, they usually get it right. Depends on how they cook it. Dr. Kilt's talking about occasionally having a potato loaded with butter and sour cream. Sounds like a tasty once in a while. A potato for me would be a downgrade. If somebody offered me a baked potato, I would wrap it up and I'd put it in a bag or pocket, and you know exactly where it would go to. The sour cream, I may scoop that out and eat it and then give the potato to my feathered friends so they can turn it into something tasty. Charger Mopar, you won't even use it. Okay. All right. Good thing animals mate. Yes. That way there's always more. Maybe some in the chat, self-feeder. That's another thing I need. I tried to make Milton a feeder, but I think I made it too complicated. I made it out of steel. I need something maybe plastic that doesn't have a refrigeration unit in it. We'll see. I'm going to check the yard sale, see if I can find a cat feeder. I'm glad you reminded me. Okay. I'm painful. I think I will fall back to sleep. Was up so early. Well, go ahead. Maybe you can fall asleep. I'll relax you. You'll fall asleep. I bought 5 potatoes about 6 months ago. Went off the rails. Butter and sour cream. I don't know what people see in potatoes. Just looks like a big lump of root. I think all this stuff will prevent a move ever. No, a move will come. I just need to find the location, and I'll move all the stuff to the new place. I'll get rid of some of it too, but, you know. Every few weeks I have a potato for my hormones. I find it helps me. Well, that's good. If I was going to eat something carbohydrates, I'd pick some plantains from my yard. Next door down the house I grew up in, Rick, my 80-year-old parents still live there. Well, that's it. Why don't you get Medicaid? They won't give it to me. In Florida, if you're a single man, they won't give you a darn thing. Trust me, I have applied. I've even tried the Obamacare, but they won't give me that either. So it's not easy. And they use the excuse that I own my lot. Well, that's an asset. You can't get Obamacare if you own a piece of land. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but when I move, we'll see what happens. Milton won't eat much when Rick is gone, mostly sleep. Rick should set up live cam on Milton while gone. I'm working on that. I just put in the conduit for my outdoor cams, and I have a camera in my room. So I need to do that anyway to keep an eye on him to make sure that he's not causing trouble. If there's an emergency, I can tell my neighbor, or I can get my friend to come over here and deal with little Milton because he's such a cutie. 1996, tell them you eating heart attack chicken. Well, yeah, heart attack chicken I've been eating since the 1980s. Listening while driving home from shopping. Got a deal on eggs, $1.32 for 6 large free range. I got 72 eggs. Well, Mark, I'm glad you do. Glad to see you again in my live, and I hope you're having an awesome day. It's great. And I think I'm I'm down to 53. It goes up and down. But yes, my daughter has a self-feeder. She records her voice to call the cats. I need to figure out what kind of feeder that is because I've already made a hard food, which is basically just ground beef, and he eats that just fine. So instead of kibble, I just need a container that can hold dry food, and I will put it in there, and that's it. So that will work. The feeder I tried to make used raw meat, and it had a refrigeration unit, and Milton wouldn't touch it. So I need to just get a regular feeder from somewhere. Maybe I'll hit the pet store and see what they have. I'll check the dumpster. Maybe I can find something. Yeah, a good deal for the free range over there. A channel called Cats with GoPro. Well, there you go. That's funny. Milton isn't liking dry food, but he does eat the dried meat that I made for him. He gobbles that up. Milton also likes raw bacon, which is kind of interesting. Ricky Lee in Kilts eats his ice cream too. Used to be carnivore, is no carbs, influencer, anti-carbs, confusing. Yeah, PBB, chicken and fish. Everybody does something different, but what? Jason Statham is bald. Okay, that's when we were talking about the bald thing. I've seen that DS. Reminded me of 2 appointments. Have to get out of bed. Well, Juliet, you do the best you can. And, it's time to wake up. You'll be fine. Don't you want to stay in Miami? I see all these young guys throwing their hands up in the air with hand signal saying Miami for life with flat brim hats, cold chain. Yeah, tattoos looking cool. That's one of the reasons I want out of here. If I'm around people like that, it's really depressing. It really is. I'd rather be in the Midwest where people at least, although they do get fat when they're older, a lot of the farm people are lean when they're younger and they look a whole lot better. These Miami people are they deliberately make themselves ugly, just like the city itself. It was kind of nice at one time. Now it's just a generic box of crap. That's all it is. Pretty lousy. Saw one where he eats a mouse up close. Must be the cats. Is Miami a safe place? Well, when you're poor like me, it's very safe. No one's going to rob you when you got nothing to steal. What are they going to do? Steal my truck or van? They'll be lucky if it makes to the corner without blowing the tires out. break into a house where there's so much clutter, even if you could get through the iron bars, you'd probably kill yourself in the junk pile. It's pretty safe here. I don't feel threatened at all. No one's ever broken in this house. They know better. And besides, with all the junk that I have, if let's say somebody did break in the house, I would hear the noise. I would already be armed and ready long before they ever came in. If they tried to run to me, they would trip on something, fall. There'd probably be a big avalanche. And if they happened to be on the floor, they'd probably end up with something like this coming across their head a couple of times to knock them out before I picked up the phone and called 911. So, really bad move. And there are these kind of things all over the place. So if somebody did want to break in, it's high risk for zero reward. The only thing you might get is some free lead, and it'll be traveling so fast you may not even be able to catch it. So that's not good. Okay. I want some hilarious cat animal videos. Yeah, they're popular on the internet. It is true. The reason cats are so lousy when they do the thing is because the male cat's thing has thorns. Yes. Yeah, they have little, like, barbs on the little wee-wee that they have. Little tiny, that's true. But cats are just noisy in general. That's part of their personality. When cats fight, when they do their things, they try to put up a big show. You ever notice when a cat gets angry or frightened, it fluffs up the fur to make itself look bigger? That's it. You have any suggestions of where I could find some farmer-made butter? Robbie, not around here. The only thing they farm here is two-legged cattle. I really don't know anyone, but if anybody else in the chat knows, feel free to comment. I'm just here to confuse the host. Well, that's hard to do because I'm already confused. Scrambled eggs with butter, yeah. Runny yolks in the evening, all kinds of eggs. That's it. Eggs are great. Not lard eggs with. I fried the eggs in beef tallow or lard. I use beef tallow mostly, but sometimes I use lard. Yep. Let's see. I had 2 boiled eggs for the simplicity. I don't like boiled eggs myself. It's just too much work having to peel all that shell off the eggs. I'd rather crack the eggs open and scramble it. We used to have these little silicone molds that my mom used where you broke the egg, you poured it into this mold, and then you would cook it in water. And then they were like shellless boiled eggs. My mom liked boiled eggs. She would eat 1 egg a day if I forced her. Never more than that. I'm surprised how tasty sour cream is with stuff like ground beef too. Yes, it is. Everything's good with ground beef. I'm going to use sour cream to replace mayonnaise. That's smart. Oh, excuse me. That is very smart. Threw my avocado-based mayo out. You can also make it with lard, you know. Made chicken salad with sour cream. Very good. All right. Let's see. Best food sure had me fooled for my whole life. Yes. Only mayo I enjoy. Extra heavy from sub shops. I can't consume the seed oils anymore. Not worth it. Are you into conspiracy theories, Rick? What is your conspiracy? No, I am not into conspiracy theories because the real conspiracy is not a theory. It's a fact. Here's what I believe. I believe that throughout history, the goal has been for the few to control the many. There are certain people out there that they gain satisfaction from being able to extract from everybody else. So the trick is coming up with different systems where you can have the extraction and be more effective. And many systems have been tried. Obviously, the whole idea of a monarchy, king, queen, princes, whatever, that's a very old strategy. Same thing with emperor. But as time has gone on, what is this? Oh, someone's at my door. Hold on a second. Well, this is very interesting. Doesn't say who it's from, but it is, as far as I can tell, a package. Let's see what we have here. All right. It's not ticking. That's a good sign. Oh, look who came here. There's my little sweetheart. You're such a good kitty. You love to investigate. Look at that cute little face. Look at that little Milton. Say hello. There's my Milton. Look at the beautiful animal. Look at that cat. Aw. You are such a sweetheart. You were so nice and quiet last night. You opened the door. You got on the bed. I didn't know you were there. You're sleeping right there at the end of the bed. I put my hand down. I'm like, what's this? Oh, Milton. You're a sweetheart. Love you so much. So what do we have here? Let's see. Oh, wow. Extra cool. Gift cards. That is super awesome. You see, Milton, you're amazing. How do you know when somebody's coming here? Well, whoever sent me the gift cards, I really, really appreciate it. You people are awesome. And this is what I had a friend actually tell me. Rick, why do you do live streams? Why do you make YouTube videos? What are you trying to do? You're not going to make money on YouTube. I'm not going to make money on YouTube. I'm going to meet great people. And I never ask for money. But it's awesome that people are there. They send me delicious meats and gift cards. And I'm going to need it because, hey, buddy, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to buy myself a feeder from Milton. You know that? I'm going to go to the store today or tomorrow, and I'm going to buy Milton a cat feeder so you can be well fed. And boy, you are a beautiful cat. Let me show you how beautiful this animal is. Look at this. Do you think this is a nice cat? I do. Oh, you're a sweetheart. Look at that. Look at that face. Oh, what a good kitty he is. You like me. You're a sweetie. Yes, you are. I've had my friends say, aren't you afraid the cat's going to scratch your face out? Not my cat. He's a good kitty. Yes, he is. Your eyes are sleepy? Oh, you're a sleepy kitty. You're such a sweetheart. I'm going to get you a cat feeder by tomorrow, and we're going to get you ready. You know, I was really not that happy about having to go out of town to a convention. I've been to several conventions for business and bored out of my mind, but I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, it's been 20 years since I've traveled. 20 years. That's a lot of time. And to be able to go and meet people that are just amazing people. I mean, amazing. I have never in my life encountered such a good group of people. And that's why I continue to do these live streams, because you're the best. Every one of you that's watching is what I call the elite, the best of the best. What did I miss? Good morning, all. Well, hopefully not too much. And we're going to do something a little different today in a little bit. Whenever I get the chance and I can pull myself away from the computer, I'm going to take you along with me to the neighborhood yard sale. I may not be able to see all your comments, but I'm definitely going to let you ride along with me. Okay, so hi, Sharon. I sure just got on. Good morning, Sharon. There we go. Look at that. Oh, wow. Okay, now the comments have jumped. Where? What happened to all my comments here? There we go. And we have too many. I have reached the Mitch point over here where the comments are coming in live and fast. Dr. C has a live coming on at 10. Okay. Yes. I mentioned that. Yeah, you can check that out. I don't know if he's having it real-time live or what. Let me just check. Okay. There goes Milton. Milton has just left. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Milton has just left. Now he wants to play with the envelope that came in. So let me go ahead and let me get through these comments. So Dr. Chafee has a live. Let me switch over here. on YouTube. Okay. And let's see. Yeah. All right. Yep. I don't know if is that a live or is it just hard to say. Now, who are these? Chafee's in the middle. Okay. All right. Some of the carnivore influencers. Well, that's good. That's just another excuse for me to cut this short. All right, let's go back to the carnivore quack. There we go. Now, obviously, I don't look like these guys. I mean, come on. You're not going to see me looking like that. I'm skinny. One of these days, if this year turns out to be a cool year, and I get into my best shape of the winter, which is usually around January, February, I will take a picture of myself, and you will see that my physique is very different from anybody else's. I don't have the muscles that they do. I'm just lean. So it's a little bit different. Okay, on the opposite, I don't like talking about. See? All right. My drip coffee pot just died. Good thing I got a percolator. Well, there you go. You need one of them old-fashioned Mr. Coffee or Bun coffee makers like we used to have in school. There was always a good coffee maker in the teacher's lounge because the teachers, they lived on coffee and cigarettes. That's what it was. Yep. Remember the Maxwell House commercials? Toot, 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 toot. And they showed a percolator. Yep, that's it. Everybody must do the percolator. Right? Yes, Saints Day. Okay. And again, I think most people here do like coffee. I'm the exception. I don't drink coffee. But I used to make it for my mom. I even grew coffee. I would recommend to everyone that drinks coffee, if you like plants, why don't you buy some coffee plant seeds, Cafe Arabica, and plant it in a pot. Coffee grows well in the shade. I used to have it in my yard all over the place. You can put it outside in the summer. You can bring it in for the winter. There's actually people on YouTube that live in northern climates, and they grow tropical plants in containers. I think everyone should plant at least one coffee shrub. Do the percolator with me. I thought it was do the locomotion with me. Da-da, I'm going to swing my hips now. Okay, oh my goodness. I'll never catch up. This is terrible. Okay. All right. Yep. Ave Maria. I watched The Lady from the Woods last night. Had a crazy dream. I was driving through the woods, paving a path over flowers. Huh. Okay. Yeah, do the locomotion. That's correct. I never owned a percolator. I have a French press, mocha pot. Those are real popular with the Cubans here. Those mocha pot, they love those things. They make their Cuban coffee. Okay. Eat a ham bone. Carrie's movie is taking so long, I feel like I've heard about everything that's going to be said. He repeats everything over and over again. I agree. I agree. I think a lot of people are. I do think so. Did you watch Jerry? Typo Ricky? Yes. Wonder why the other carnivore doc... Because nobody can see it. I can't find the stupid thing. How am I going to watch the animal movie? It's probably the same old people with the same old story over and over again. I can't watch it. And if Kerry wants me to watch his movie when it's out, he can send it to me. If he asks me for money, then I know exactly what the purpose of the movie was for. So you could do that to general public, but for somebody like me that's been in the carnivore community for a long time, it's an insult to try and make me pay to watch a movie. So if you're promoting a carnivore movie and you don't send it to Rick, Rick is going to talk down on it. That's just the way it is because I can't see it. How can I see a movie and give you a review on it? But whatever. They do whatever they want to do. I'm not going to worry about it. It's not my movie. If I ever do make a carnivore movie, I'm going to include everybody. And it's going to be, I'm not going to worry about Netflix or any of this crap. I'm going to release it in stages. So what I'll do, I'll make a movie in parts. And if I make a story on one person, I'll release that story to YouTube. Then I'll release another one. Then I'll release another one. And when the movie comes together, I'll put the whole movie together, and then I'll put it on a donation basis. If you like the movie, feel free to donate. People donate to me now. Why do I have to go out there and put a paywall behind it? I don't think that's right, but that's just me. You do whatever you want. But if I ever do a movie, and the thing is that I'm going to have to rely on other people to help me, and everybody that helps me is going to be in it. So if they want to be in it, maybe they don't want to be in it. But I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. I got myself in the hole criticizing that movie and criticizing the group. And that matter's been closed. I don't care anymore. I got more stuff to do. I got a life to live. I got work to do. I have things I want to build. I'm not dead yet. I want to build that 1950s tropical or whatever paradise or 1950s home in the cow pasture. I want to build my place the way that I like it, because I think that in many ways it's going to be important. I really do believe that. Okay. It takes me back many years ago. I'll State Choir. Okay. Is she the superhero? Got a thumbnail where she's like Superwoman. Okay. Yep. Boil and defeather. That's how you do the ducks and chickens. How often you eat ducks? Not enough. I've only had one this year. Maybe I'll have a second one before the end of the year. Part of the dream was in a hospital. Somebody was cooking 2 chuck roasts on some sort of hospital equipment. Dreams can be strange. Yes, potatoes taste like dirt. Cooked potatoes with lots of butter and salt. Yes, must be the butter and salt. And the thing is, if you like carbohydrates, what I recommend to you, try a plantain. Now, if you don't have plantains in your yard, you're going to have to buy it in the store. But I think even plantains in the store have less chemicals. Potatoes are sprayed with a lot of chemicals because otherwise they will be eaten by insects. Plus, they're stored for long periods of time. Potatoes are nightshades, which are toxic. Bananas are not a toxic fruit. There are oxalates in the peel. But once they're peeled, it's basically just carbohydrates and a few minerals. I would recommend trying either a boiled or fried plantain. And you're going to see they taste a lot better than potatoes. Because to me, potatoes taste like dirt. Plantains, they taste like flavorful dirt. I mean, they're much better. But I guess I'm just used to them. I like the smell of plantains frying in beef tallow. And I have some plantains developing here, maybe in a month or so. We'll have a get-together at my friend's place, a big barbecue. I always bring the plantains over there. We have plantain French fries, or I call them heart attack fries. And everybody loves them. No one has ever told me that they were bad. Everybody loves them. And they have sort of a beef and the fatty. Oh, they're really good. They are super good if you like that stuff. My problem is I eat 2 handfuls of them and I don't want any more. The problem with me, when I eat carbohydrates, I lose interest. For a long time, I might be thinking, I'd love to have an orange. And I watch the orange tree, how it develops. It's like pretty nice. And then what ends up happening? Well, the oranges are ready, and I'm like, I eat 2 of them, and that's it. I just don't get interested in it. That's the problem I have. All right, let me go and see if I can knock these out. I see that Dr. Chafee, he has his live stream. And let me go ahead. Hi, Rick and Milton. Hello, VK Belgian Carnivore. Saturday Quack team. Have a great All Saints Day. Okay. Obamacare in Delaware, and I own 2 houses. I don't know how some people do it. 5 drumsticks sewing for heart attack drumsticks. You smart man, I do too. Lesser effect on blood glucose. Sweet potatoes. I wonder what plantains do. Have to try that. Totally true. Nursing home. We sold her house. The government took all the money to get on Medicaid. Right. What kind of carbs? Okay. Unless you have an irrevocable trust 5 years prior. Right. Potatoes are a vessel for butter and salt. They tear my gut up now. Exactly. Automatic feeder. Amazon. $39. Control with an app. Okay. Every so often I'll make a mistake. Dry feeder or wet food. Milton only eats carnivore wet food. Well, he eats the dried beef. I've already done dry ground beef. He does eat it. And I have about 2 pounds of dry ground beef. That's enough for 3 days or more of Milton. He'll be fine. And he loves it. In fact, when I crack that open, Milton, you can hear his ears go up, and he comes running. He makes this cute little sound. He goes when he runs. And in the dark, when I'm walking around, every so often he says, he lets me know that he's there. When my neighbor first gave him to me, he gave me a little bell to put around his neck. Well, Milton ripped that off. He probably got caught in something. But he developed this interesting habit of making noise to let me know where he is. And it's fine. And yes, I tried to feed Milton dry food. I ended up giving it to the ducks. But the dry ground beef, he will eat it. He will eat his little leg before he, yeah, right? No wonder they're screaming when they do it. We're talking about the cat weenie, refrigerated cat food feeders. Well, I built one. I built a refrigerated cat food feeder, but he won't eat out of it. And I think it's because he doesn't like the noise it makes. But that's okay. The dry cat food feeder is all you need. Milton is carnivore, right? Yes, he is a carnivore. Those robbers better not be getting your meats in the fridge. That is very true. That's the only thing here. I will protect that refrigerator. I got a rifle in my kitchen, so anybody wants to come in there, they're going to find out what a vintage rifle can do to you. Rick is raging. Oh, he's funny. My father kept the dog food with lard in it. Okay. Watch a video of a mom running out of the grocery store with stolen food. Even the baby running with food. Must be San Francisco or New York City. I'm a tree stand all day long. I use hard-boiled eggs. Oh, for that and cold bacon. That works. Used to give my cat kibble. He would drink a lot of water. Now he gets... Yeah, my Milton doesn't drink a lot of water either. Kind of interesting. Probably peeing all the time. Yeah, exactly. Well, they could convert the meat into urine. I mean, there's moisture in it as well. You think your clutter is a sign of trauma from losing your parents? No. The reason I have all the clutter is because I have a lot of old things. I like things that are very old. And you can't get parts for anything. And I've been down that frustrating path. I still can't get a flywheel for my truck. So I learned my lesson. When I can find something like what I have that's junk, I go ahead and grab it. Because that way, when I need the parts, I have it. There's a lot of things here that break. I can get my hands on the parts fast. My friend says, we can go to Home Depot. I'm like, Home Depot doesn't have what Home Dumpo has. If I need to get a part for one of my light fixtures, my Hall of Fame light fixtures, haven't been made since the 60s. I got piles of spares. If I need ceiling tiles, I have hundreds of them. One gets damaged, I change it. I don't have to worry. I hoard the stuff that I need. My antique chargers, I got a bunch of old charger parts. When I get the time to rebuild my chargers, everything I need is right here. And that's good. Okay, hi cutie, oh sweet Milton. Yeah, he's a sweetheart. I wouldn't clean his room as clean as a kid. Yeah, I always clean my room. I've always been... Ellen's here. Hello. Glad that you're here. That's so cool. I'm wondering... And Juliet is still here. Yes. Hey, there we go. That's nice. You got a gift card. Yes, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm just very happy. Will he eat the dry food? Yes. He will eat the dry food that I have made for him. Good morning, Rick and friends. I've been listening, walking a dog. It's 39 degrees and raining, so can't chat much. That's fine. I'm glad that you're listening. My cat died like January promises to myself, so I'll not take any pet again. Well, they all die, but you'll get another one. My cat died a few years ago. I didn't look for another one. Just my neighbor found Milton, and here you go. You want him or not. I figured I'll take Milton rather than give him to the Humane Society. I thought Milton was a cutie. Plus, he was friendly to me. I figured I'd keep him for a day, see how he acted. He was a mischievous, fun little kitten. I thought, well, I guess I got a new friend. And that was just before I started the live stream. So I thought, man, I could use Milton in my live stream. People love cat videos, so it might improve interest. So yeah, that's pretty good. Yes, that's Milton. I would definitely, having a pet is pretty nice if you got one. There's always more than need a home. You need a trip, Rick? Well, it's coming. I'll be on that bus next week. Hopefully the bus doesn't break down. I just didn't want to go on the mobile mental hospital, otherwise known as Greyhound. But I found out something called a red coach. It's $10 more. I think I'll do it. If I got to be sitting in a bus 5.5 hours, well, Greyhound, it'd probably be 7 hours because they stop everywhere. And they don't have a bathroom on the bus, so they got to stop in the Greyhound station. Believe me, I've been on Greyhound before, and it's like, ugh. So if I can have a better bus, they call it business class. I guess that means you have Wi-Fi. If I got Wi-Fi, I could probably even, well, who knows? I might be able to make a live video. I got to debate which of my laptops is suitable, so I'll go through it. And Milton has returned. Hey, Milton. Okay. Broke my heart. Gained visceral fat. Well, hopefully pets don't do that, but you'll get another one. Hey, I just tell the truth around here. Yes, exactly. I really appreciate that. All right, let's see. And we have so many comments. I'll get them. I always catch up eventually. You always make us feel welcome because you are welcome. You've taken your time to come here, and I want to welcome you. The pet is horrible. Yeah, well, it's a shorter life than us to prepare us for the grief that comes from losing a family member. That's true. But, hey, Milton, what are you doing? You don't want to come here and say hi? A couple years ago, my cat Garfield lived to the age of 21. That's a long time for a cat. And my first cat was a black cat. He lived to 18. Pull up another device to see it's on carbs. Okay. Talking about Anthony Chafee's live stream. I knew about this long ago. Apologize, Lisa's not nice. Okay. All right. So I missed my cat too. I think we talk back. Yeah, we fall back tonight. That is correct. That's right, John. I don't really pay attention. I change the clock, but my wake up and sleep schedule stays with the sun. So it'll be a while before I adapt. As the days get shorter, I go to bed earlier, wake up a little later, whatever. I let my own body set the sleeping time. Morning person. Okay. A few years ago, our cat disappeared overnight. Yeah. Well, that's why I keep Milton indoors, except when he's under supervision. Right, Milton? I see you have returned. Come here, Milton. Hello. Sweetie. Oh, my goodness. Are you a good pussy cat? You're sweet. Love you. You're a good kitty. You want to bite? No biting. No. No bitey. Okay, little buddy. You're a sweetie. Come on. You look like you want to bite me. Want to bite me? Up. All right. Milton's being a little bit on the shy side. Hey, what can I do? Anyway. All right, Milton. You can stay there if you want. You have the whole house to yourself. I mean, you basically own the place. You can go anywhere you want. Nothing is off limits to little Milton. Okay, so. All right, got the conversation going. And more comments. All right. Okay, yes. Cat doesn't come back. Well, okay. Cat came back when he got hungry. Of course. That's usually when they come back. Cat dies. Yeah, where is Lewis? I guess he's busy today. She wanted, but she does not take care of it. She only uses him like a stuffed animal. So way kids are. When I got my first cat, I had to take care of the cat. That was part of the deal. So I always cleaned the litter box. I used to put this poop in the toilet. Then I put it in the trash. Then I discovered it worked in the garden. And I've been throwing cat poop in the garden ever since. Of course, now I don't put the cat poop directly in the garden. It goes into the digester to produce gas to cook with. And then after it digests, it goes into the garden. So that's pretty good. All right, so let's see. LOL. Yep. I'll get another immediately. All right. My cat was like, this is 2021 COVID time. Okay. We don't have plantains in Northern. No, you don't. You don't have plantains in Northern Indiana. But I guess you could get them from the store. But they do have potatoes there, so that's true. And if you wanted to grow plantains, you need a pretty big greenhouse, which I don't think most people have. And let's see, 20-year-old insoluble, 18-year-old cat died. I held her like a baby for an hour when she cried. It was so sad. Huh. I never got sad when my cats died. I kind of expected it. I guess when you're eating ducks and iguanas, you expect animals to live and die. But I know there's always another one. There's always another animal that needs a home. They kill so many animals at the animal shelter that if my cat dies, hopefully my cat dies of a heart attack, because that's a great way to go. You just kind of drop dead. But anyway, your movie should title Iguana Hunter. Joking, it would be great. The Adventures of Rick and Milton in Search for Quackers. I think it would be a lot of fun. It really would. I misread and set my clocks back 2 hours. Now miss the start of the live stream. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got some hellos. They sell hunts with air guns for iguanas all around Rick's area. Well, there you go. But not too many people grab the iguana by the tail like I do. Should it be ripe? Unripe is better. Ripe plantains are loaded with sugar, and I don't like the taste of them either. You're better off with the green plantain. That way it'll be very potato-like. Our cat is 15. Can't bear to get another. She wants to get another kitten. She lives at home. Well, there's always more cats. There's plenty of cats. Always someplace there's kittens that are coming out. So there's plenty of cats. I tell everybody the best way to fix a broken cat is to get another cat. There's always more. Even if you don't look for them, like Milton, they come to you. Right, little Milton? Oh, I love that little sound you make. That. So cute. You are such a sweet cat. You can be in the dark and you hear. I got to get a microphone down there where they can hear that cute sound you make. My first black cat did the exact same thing. It must be a black cat thing. He doesn't purr very loudly, though. His purr is very soft. Have a great day at the yard sale. Everyone have a great day. Yes. You are so smart, Rick. And every month when I go to the pet store, I put 24 cans on the counter. I'm here to pay the cat. Well, there you go. We set clocks back. Hey, Milton has jumped up here. Look at that. There's Milton. Come on. What? You're acting like you're hungry, and I gave you plenty of meat this morning. All right. Okay. Lewis with his little foster kittens. The kittens are cute, aren't they? Here are the wood sugar. My hand joints cracking and neck. Yeah. Typing on my phone sucks. That cat is really man's best friend. It takes care of itself. That is true. Yep. The cat listening with a sharp tongue. Yeah, they got that too. Home Dumpo. That's my place. They got Home Depot down the street. You got Home Dumpo. So, dogs come when you call them. Cats come when they want to. I am a cat person. That is correct. There's nothing like an animal that knows what they want. And the thing about cats, if you treat them badly, they'll run away and they'll never come back. That's another thing about cats. Kind of like a duck. Of course, ducks are tasty. I don't eat cat. This is not North Korea. Sorry about the cat. Devastated. We lose one of our kitties. Yep. All right. Swipe feature instead of typing. Never heard of that. It's like becoming subconscious now. Yeah, I hear sugar. I mean, refined brown, white sugar. I usually cracking joints. Huh, interesting. Forgot what it's called on Android. I have my cat trained to stay away from the door to escape. I'm building a little gate. I usually have to throw water on Milton so he doesn't run out when I don't want him to. But I'm building a little metal gate. That way he won't be able to run out that easily. Because he likes to hide in a corner and then dash out as soon as I open the door. We're lucky we had our cat 18 years. Glide typing. It's Swamp Cat. Yes, that's what you call Milton. Cat tongue can remove. They remove skin. Yeah, the bigger cats can. Not the little ones. I did oversleep and just getting here. Huh. Dog Greyhound bathroom. I guess maybe on some of the longer ones, the ones that I was on didn't have the bathroom. And even if they did, it was probably so nasty you wouldn't want to look at it. But Swamp Cat Milton, that's cool anyway. Shaped like a 5-gallon bucket. I think they do. Okay. Well, Greyhound is what I call the mobile mental hospital. You got all the crazy people, the fat people, the disgusting. I've never seen people that are that unattractive in my life. Greyhound seems to be the bottom of the barrel. But again, when you're poor, that's what you tend to be. I'm one of the rare poor people that doesn't think that way. I don't wear pajamas to travel. I normally dress halfway decent. I would be like the person you would see in the 1950s Greyhound commercial, or back when they used to say, "Go Greyhound, leave the driving to us." That's what me. Now, it looks like somebody opened the door to the mental hospital and told them, "Get on the bus." When you tell somebody you're on the bus, that's usually like, "Ugh, oh, he's riding the bus." You know, if you're on a private jet, that's one thing. Amtrak would have been okay, but it goes too late. I would have to go there the day before to get there at a reasonable hour. Otherwise, I would have taken Amtrak, but I'll take the bus. How I'm coming back, I don't know, but we'll see. I'm sure when I get there, Russ, we'll figure something out. The week that we're going there, Russ is going to have the keto cookout, and I'll be on there, and then you can meet up with me in person. So let's see. You have a male cat, chance of not coming back. That's right. Well, Milton is male. Garfield is nice name, Rick. Like the cartoon. That's right. I got pictures of Garfield. If I can just find that hard drive in my collection of hard drives, I'll send you pictures of some of my older cats. I tend to have orange cats, black cats, and those gray tabby cats. Those are the 3 types of cats I have. Those are the best cats in my opinion. First time I cooked a turkey, I didn't know about the guys. They bag and put the turkey's butt. Okay. They fight with other male cat and get lost. That's true. Oh boy, the guts. Okay. Our cat is male. Stray. He leaked out. He was crying outside to get back and he's comfortable. Well, one time Milton got out and I didn't see him and I heard him meowing. He was up on the window bars wanting to get back in. So, yeah, Milton likes it here. He's a good kitty. He spends a lot of time with me, too. I have to close my door, and even that, he opens the door, gets on the bed, falls asleep next to me, and all night he's there. He's a really nice cat. I really like the little kitty. 30 minutes removed if I remove the neck. Okay, so we're talking about the bird. Happy November, Christmas. Yeah, that's right. Stubbing my toe, kicking the door jamb, trying to block my cat from darting out the front door. That's it. I always try to get out of exit 1 of 4 times. Then I have to go and fetch the cat, which is somewhat tricky. Typos you can't. Yeah, that's true. Fights with other, they keep running and might get loose. That's right. Lightning speed. Yeah, it could be. Smash my little toe. Strawberry poop gas. Yes, that's how I make my cooking gas. There you go. Well, I haven't had any strawberries in a while, so I'll have to see when the Aldi throws out more strawberries. When they have their strawberry season, if you got one bad strawberry, they throw the whole package out. No cats where you live. All right. We're getting there. Snitched on me. Owner likes me is looking the other way. Rick's live cats are welcome and required. Well, there you go. Our guy is not destructive. Our cats are trying to kill each other. I know that Amy had to medicate her cats because they were just crazy. Now they're more catatonic. Milton has an attitude. Yes, he does. You got the perfect black Halloween cat. Yes. And last night was Halloween. And Milton, he was right here in the room sitting on me, purring away like a good little Halloween cat. Snitchers are not nice. Everyone has a cat in the window. Must be one of those associations. Try the cat sound speak. Okay. One climbing his back was so cute. Yeah. Must be talking about Lewis and his kittens. We had a roommate who has 2 females that were isolated and destructive. Certain sound to make them come. No, I just say, Milton, and he usually comes running. Or if you open, like, use one of those, like the jar where I have the meat preserved, you open the jar, I go, shh. He hears that sound and comes running. 41 hours in the 7-day fast. I make it to 7. Adopted a cat. Anxiety. Other cat is trying to bully her. That's right. Hangs out in the yard. Okay. That's good. If your cat doesn't run away, they consider that a blessing. Okay. Android keyboards. We're talking about quick ways of typing. Once you get him fixed, he won't want to get out. Yeah, that's true. Sounds rough. Sounds like being a young, timid kid in school. Okay. It must be about the cats. Earbud that translates. Those would be handy here in Florida. We had to put them both on anxiety meds. Bought a large cat tent. Amazon. Cat could hang outside. There we go. I use Google Gboard. I think it's called for voice text. Even punctuates if you don't dictate. Okay, Garfield was my favorite cartoon as a kid. That's a cool tent for a cat. A lot of people use the cat tents. And Tim is here. Good morning. Good to have you here. And Juliet says hello. And happy Saturday morning. Are you going for a bike ride today? Or just the gym? Or something else? Brown rice and fire hydrant. There we go. Those code words. And High on Fitness. There we go. See, you have fans over here. All right. And hopefully soon I'm going to be taking everybody to the yard sale with me so you can see what's going on. I'm going to hop on the old bicycle, make sure the Wi-Fi is working, and we're going to do that. Okay, Keto Rock Stars. I had to go after I said hello earlier. Okay, Ellen, that's fine. Stopping back in now. Excellent. Don't know what it means. Brown rice. It's some code words for the automatic chat bot. Yeah, brown rice got her constipated. Okay. All right. I'm going to do both. All right, good. Well, I'm going to be doing that too. If you watch my live stream, you'll see me go in there and I'm blasting through the comments. I can shift into overdrive when I need to. I do same. I carry phone around to hear Rick when I get stuff done. Yeah, he doesn't shower with me. That is very true. All right, and it looks like we caught up on the chat, which is really, really good. Now, hey, Milton, what are you doing down there, huh? What? You silly puss. You're a silly little kitten. I love you so much. What a great kitten you are. What's the matter? Eat a pussy. Eat a pussy. Come on up. Say hi to everyone. All right, don't get fussy. Doug fussy because my hair clogged the shower drain again. Well, it must be your plumbing because my drain has never been clogged with hair. Okay, magnesium citrate for constipation, and there you go. Now, let me see. I got YouTube, and what does it take to go live on YouTube? Let's see. I think I might have to use the studio. How do you go live on YouTube? Okay. Upload video, short. Ah, there's a live. Okay. So I can go live, and what I'll do, let's see. Now I want to turn this around. How do I turn the camera around on this thing? Oh, there we go. Up. There goes Milton. Boy, he went running like crazy. That cat is very nervous. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the phone in here like that. And then I'm going to switch over to the live. Now, because I'm using OBS on this computer, there's no way that I can integrate directly with YouTube. So what I'm going to have to do, I think, yeah, that'll work. Okay. So I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to go ahead and see if everyone can see this. Now, I see the comments, have stopped. Seems like it. Oh, well, sort of. Now they're coming in again. This thing does tend to delay a little bit. So let me see. Oh, well. Anyway. So now I think somebody else is having a live at 11. Okay, the comments have refreshed. Let me go through here. And have your cat drink a tall glass of water with it. All right. What a yard sale. All right. Well, guess what? You're going to be able to go with me virtually. Sounds fun. Yard sales. How many other live streams take you on a yard sale? Yes, press plus button at the bottom. Have a good weekend. Well, thank you for being here. You'll need Wi-Fi. I have Wi-Fi. I have a long-range Wi-Fi antenna. The thing is less than a mile. The Wi-Fi works 1.5 miles from the house. I've already tested it. So I'm going to go ahead. I have the Wi-Fi here, and I'm going to try it. Now, if it doesn't work, I'm not going to be able probably to answer comments, but let me see. Okay. So let me go ahead. Let me close this out, and let me see if let's see if this will work. There we go. Will it work? I don't know. I got a few issues here. Oh boy. Okay. It's not working. All right, what am I doing here? Oh, one way or the other I'll get this. So we'll go ahead and let's see. All right. Okay. There we are. Okay. There we go. All right. That is now running. Okay. Perfect. Let's see if we can knock out these comments. Milton need a girlfriend. We don't need Mo kittens. Baby after he gets fixed. But in the meantime, we're keeping him indoors. Breakfast time, 5 of them. Oatmeal and a cup of Greek yogurt. There you go. Maybe Rick finds some discarded meat at the yard sale. I'm going to test it out. Do you use to call a cat? Well, you just go, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And you open the food, and there he is. You'll have to end. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I got the music playing, and I'm going to be saying goodbye very soon. And we will be starting the mobile live. And hopefully, it'll work. So let's see. It's not made for kids. All right. So all I got to do is push go live. And you're going to be walking with me and biking with me to the neighborhood yard sale. And it's going to be, well, hopefully very enjoyable. All right. So anyway, in a true Mr. Rogers fashion, let's see here. Okay, what did I do? There we go. All right. Let me change this. And let me go back to the live stream. There we are. And where are my comments? There they are. All right. Yep. They closed the drive-in here, though, in 1994 to build a shopping center. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you appreciate it. Really happy about that. And guess what? It hasn't ended. There's more to come. As they used to say on the Johnny Carson show, always in between, more to come. I'm going to take my stack of dollar bills and put them in this pocket over here. And put my shoes on. Size 15. I always look for shoes at the yard sale. They never have anything my size. They have a box that says men's shoes. Looks like kids' shoes. Well, that's it. Thank you so much. And if you choose to, go to my channel and log on for the mobile live.